You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.
Fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use.
Personally, I am done with all women-centered events in 2025. The women empowerment brunches, lunches, the ladies' nights, I'm just gonna take a pause. Like, I need heard enough. I have my sisterhood. Of course, I'm open to making new friends, but there's other ways to do that and to spend my money. Like, where's the...
Being a strong, independent woman is fun until I can't reach the cups. Bae, come get me.
Vita's back with another one. Let me know if you agree or disagree.
So I have put up a post.
I feel like we don't talk about this enough, but the hardest part of being single is not having somebody to. Oh my God. Oh God. I'm lost. Oh God. Like, I didn't sign up for this celibacy life. It chose me. Oh God. This cannot be my life. This cannot be my life. This is the hardest part about being single because the don't really be hitting like it's supposed to be hitting after a while, bitch. Oh God. Hey Lord, send me my man. Oh, this cannot be my life. Fuck you thought this was.
I am tired of the amount of gaslighting us single people have to go through. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things that our friends in relationships can get for free, we have to pay for. And there's no amount of self-love or therapy that can kind of circumvent the frustration that being single is very expensive. Because if, an example, I am sick, I don't have anyone who can cook for me. My friend can ask her boyfriend to cook for her. I have to DoorDash something. If I need help moving something in my house, I need to go find someone and pay that person to come over and move it. Well, my friend can just ask her partner. And all those things just add up. If you lose your job, you have someone who can help you with rent. If you are having like financial trouble or health trouble, you now need to like disclose that to your family or friends, which might be embarrassing, or you can tell your one husband or your wife to help you through that. It is so frustrating to have to go through so many things alone and make these really big decisions, hard decisions completely by myself. I have my friends, I have my family, I love them, I can lean on them, but maybe I don't want to tell them all about my finances. Maybe I don't want to have to over-explain my entire health condition to them. Maybe I just need someone to help me with a real quick task that I don't want to have to pay someone or wait for someone to drive across town to come help me. And it is so frustrating because we're told that, being single is great. And it's really great when compared to an unhealthy relationship. But being single is not always better than having a healthy relationship. Don't get me wrong, I am not going to go hop into a relationship with a man just so I can have someone. But I do think we need to be honest that being single, while it can be really great, is also very impractical sometimes.
I've been single for a very long time now because I know my worth, and it's...
Right. That's good.
I'm annoyed. I no longer want to know my worth. I want to be a whore. Because this shit is trash. To know your worth and to love yourself is not fucking fun. I haven't been outside in 3 months. Only time I drink is on fucking Sunday. I don't do anything. This shit is trash. Yeah. It's trash. I'm ready to be dumb. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to be dumb. I'm ready to be quiet. I'm ready to submit.
Hello, beautiful souls. So I want a husband that basically can take care of me. I've been dealing with a lot lately, and I'm just thinking about my future, and I would really love to just meet someone and be taken care of. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know there's lots of people who strive to be ambitious, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think I'm starting to realize that I am not an ambitious person. Not anymore. That's not who I am. And if I find someone, or if someone finds me, and they want to take care of me, then I think I'm okay with that. And I think I'm okay with that because I feel like that's me being myself.
Baby, let me tell you something, and this is going to be a rant. Single life is not for the weak. You know that. Be by yourself. Get ready for yourself. Get cute for yourself. All for yourself, for yourself, for yourself. We wasn't even created to be by ourselves. That's in the Bible. In the Bible, it says man was not created to be alone. And that didn't mean man in regards to gender. That means human in regards to species was not created to be alone. Animals were not even created to be alone. Well, some animals, because I think once alligators and crocodiles have their babies, they just let their babies go free. They don't even know who their mom and their daddy is. But that's another topic for another conversation. Anyway, let's get back to this topic. It's boring over here in single woman world. It's so boring. It's so boring. Like, you only can keep yourself entertained, but for so much. There's only so much you can do to keep yourself entertained. Who wants to keep eating dinner by themselves? Who wants to keep going out on dates by themselves? Like, who wants to continuously be by yourself? It's something you adjust to, but it's not something that you like. Let's get that out there in the open right now. Let's stop fronting like, oh, we like being by ourselves. No, we don't. We just adjust to it because we don't want to have to deal with the shenanigans and the BS from another person. And or God just has not sent you that person yet. And or you're dating and the dating is long distance. So you still have times and moments and days and weeks to where you're alone. Either way, being alone sucks. It sucks. It sucks worse than a breastfed baby. It sucks. And I need us to stop creating that narrative, or I need y'all, not us, y'all, to stop creating that narrative to where being single and being alone is so glorifying and it's so happy and no, it's not. 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 Because you even have moments and days and times to where you're like, where my person at? Where my people at? Where's my peoples? You're even asking those questions yourself. Where is my peoples? But instead of giving that narrative of life, you want to come on here and tell people how, oh, just be by yourself. Oh, just love on yourself. Yes, you loved on yourself enough to know that knucklehead that you was dealing with ain't worth the time.
Whatever reason, I'm just not allowed to experience love from another person. And yes, although, I don't have that, there are other areas of my life that are flourishing, like my YouTube channel and friendships, and it's giving me opportunity to pour into those friendships and pour into myself, which I think are equally as important. But I think people tend to forget that platonic love doesn't replace romantic love. And so as much as I am fulfilled by, my friendships and, relationships with my family and things like that, it still doesn't replace that desire that I have deep down for something more. And it's hard. It's a hard thing to suppress. It's a hard thing to put on the back burner, and not knowing how long I'm going to be in this season scares me a little bit. And it also scares me to know that it may not ever happen, that it may not ever happen. And so it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making much sense in this video.
You know what I'm getting real sick and tired of? Being single. And I get it. It's going to be some people in the comments talking about, you don't need a man to validate you. You should be by yourself. You should use this time to work on you. Child, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm sick and I'm tired and I'm sick of being single. I'm trying to come home to somebody every night. I'm trying to get my booty rubbed on. I'm trying to put on a cute dress and some heels and go out to dinner. I'm trying to get a bill or two paid. Like, I don't need a companion, somebody to talk to. I don't give a fuck about no validation.
Oh, another night going home alone. This single life is ass. And don't get under my post talk about some. Just focus on yourself. Love yourself. Date yourself. I don't want to hear that shit. I really don't. I'm tired of it. Stop trying to tell me to mask my desires for being with someone else, that I should just be with myself. I've been with myself. I'm always going to be with myself. Like, it's me and her to the end of time. Like, stop it. Like, after a long day of work, I just be wanting to lay down. I want to cuddle. I want to tell my man about my day. I just want to hug. Like, damn. Like, it don't even be about all the other stuff y'all be talking about. It just be the simple things that you miss the most. Like, that's really it. Like, it's not even like, it just be the simple things. That's all I'm going to say. So just be grateful if you got somebody and you got a hug today. Because you know what?
I don't need no man. Y'all want to come in my comments talking about male-centered, decenter men. You know who I'm decentering? You bitch. I'm decentering you bitch think that all women should think like you. I'm decentering you fake ass girl ass bitch. I am decentering you because you're the problem. For my life and my experiences, you have always been the problem.
Yo, here is reason 857 on why I need a man. I go to get the bug oil change today. Now, I had got my windshield changed about 3 or 4 months ago. You know when you get an oil change, they put the little sticker in the car. When I got my windshield changed, they took the sticker. So I'm like, I know I need an oil change, but I just don't know when, you know? Yo, I went to get an oil change today. Them people pull the bug apart, baby. Them people say that ain't nothing coming up out wherever the oil be at, but air. The man said that had I not came, that there would be no more bug. And y'all, I just can't do everything no more. I just can't. I can't do it no more. I might gotta throw in a towel, y'all. I might have to start taking applications.
Okay, I have one more thought that I have to get up as the sun is rising. Okay. Sometimes we lie to ourselves. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. And I am 32 this year. And it's almost the end of the year, so I'll be 33. And I'm just not about to go into 33 lying. So I'm going to be one of the first hard up type of women to admit that I want a man. I may actually need a man. That feels so disempowering sometimes to say in 2025. And people make you feel like, oh, you're weak. It's like, fuck it. I want a man. I don't necessarily... Yes.
Being a strong, independent woman is fun until I can't reach the cups. Bae, come get me.
Personally, I am done with all women-centered events in 2025. The women empowerment brunches, lunches, the ladies' nights, I'm just gonna take a pause. Like, I need heard enough. I have my sisterhood. Of course, I'm open to making new friends, but there's other ways to do that and to spend my money. Like, where's the...
Vita's back with another one. Let me know if you agree or disagree.
So I had put up a post the other day pretty much saying that the reason why black men are choosing to date outside of their race is because of black women's entitlements and attitudes towards black men. And all I saw was a whole bunch of negative comments from black women bashing black men yet again, talking about how they ain't ish and all this other negativity. But again, let's go back to the stats. I love stats, right? Because black men are more likely to be able to marry and date outside of their race than black women. Black women are the least likely for another race to want to come and marry them. So my thing is, I need black women to wake up and realize if the black man doesn't choose us, who's going to be choosing us? Because it's a very slim chance that another race will choose us.
It'll cost you. It may cost you a little. It may cost you a lot. But it will cost you.
Fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use. So, for those of you who had the discipline and have the masochistic tendencies to listen to Miss Burb and Bougie, oh boy. Yes, we will be playing her audio. We won't be playing the video of Miss Bourbon Bougie. So I did see some of you guys' comments and exactly what I was saying. And St. Cyr says, she even looks crazy. WTF is this? Right? Exactly. He continues, says, oh, it's Bourbon Bougie, weird hating ass. Boo, boo her. Boo this woman. Right? Exactly. Right? Brooklyn Finest agrees. Where's that comment? Yeah, Brooklyn Finest says she definitely looks crazy, Saint. Right? So, um, Bourbon Bougie gives on the spectrum vibes, right? Asperger's, and this is AI review. Asperger's is a former diagnosis now included under the broader umbrella of autism spectrum disorder, ASD. Specifically, often corresponding to level 1 autism. It is a neurodevelopmental, there we go, Z, condition that affects social interactions and communication, characterized by challenges with social cues, empathy, and relationships, but often with normal or advanced intellect and language development. Other characteristics include intense focus on specific interests, a preference for routines, and I can't read the rest of that because this is blocking it. Let's see. And sensory sensitivities. Yeah. Challenges with social cues, empathy, and relationships. Let's emphasize that, Z. It is a neurodevelopmental, there we go, Z, condition that affects social interactions and communication, characterized by challenges with social cues, empathy, and relationships. Challenges with social cues, empathy, and relationships. Yeah. So y'all consider that as we listen to Miss Bourbon Bougie. Consider that when you think of Bowser, for those of you who remember why we call her Bowser, telling you she's neurodivergent. Those were her words, right? This is not necessarily to insult these people. We're not going to do the quote unquote ableism thing, but it is to say much of, I would argue, what informs them is difficulty connecting to men, particularly black men. And so what the result of that is jumping on a very antagonistic, mean, aggressive, combative feminism that borders political lesbianism or political single, as Mr. Z likes to call it, because these women, particularly black women, have difficulty connecting with men in general, black men specifically. As Mr. Z has said, most of these women aren't necessarily dumb or uneducated, but what they are little bitter, resentful trolls, hiding their resentment at men, particularly black men, behind female advocacy, right? My title, Weirdo Women Who Hide Behind Female Advocacy. So think of that as you listen to Bourbon Bougie. Think of that as you remember Miss, what was her name that we were reviewing the other day? Miss Teresa, I think what her name was, right? Think of that as you hear these folks. Asperger's is a former diagnosis now included under broader umbrella of autism's spectrum disorder, ASD, right? What happens when our society has decided is going to double and triple and quadruple down on Something is wrong with the men. They are defective, and we are going to continue to badger them. And we will lie about the women doing well, particularly black women doing well without men, without black men. Now, none of the numbers actually say that. But if we could continue the narrative, then the narrative will do what? Override the facts, right? Y'all know Mr. Z had to bring this up. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the U.S. And just in case you listen in Bourbon Bougie, Black and Latina women, when you read this article, because you're probably going to Google it if you don't know already, it specifically emphasizes single childless black women. Why is Mr. Z bringing this up? Because just like Miss Therese, who we reviewed yesterday, the framing is that women are kicking ass, black women in specific are kicking ass, and they're doing their thing and they can afford their life. We all know they can't, right? And just like we reviewed with Dr. Tyne months ago, just like we reviewed with Miss Therese yesterday, what you're going to hear from Bourbon Bougie, once again, is some out there story to plant and solidify this weirdo's talk. These women are slow walking the masses of women into essentially political lesbianism / political single. They think that if you continue to be antagonistic to the men and we don't care about them or their outcome, then somehow they're going to force society to make the men bow, be hyper providers with none of the power, with none of the influence. So in other words, another one of these protect, provide, and shut up tropes.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Huh? Another one of these, what about if men are supposed to follow women's lead?
What if black women were supposed to be the leaders and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions?
Like, I knew it, bro. I knew it, bro. I've been saying this forever, but I just needed a little clarification.
Huh? So once again, as we listen to Bourbon Bougie, the reason, for those of you that weren't here yesterday or you didn't check out yesterday's stream, I played much of those same videos. All of them, I actually added some today to emphasize the Bourbon Bougies, the Miss Teresa who we reviewed yesterday. They will speak as if black women are doing perfectly okay without black men. As a matter of fact, they're doing better than okay. Black men are an anchor on black women's ankles. And what I played was nothing but black women telling you how lonely they are, how single they are, how horny they are. And what you have to appreciate is when you hear the women, black women, say to you they're tired of the empowerment brunches and they're tired of being shamed for wanting to be with a man. They're not talking to you, black men. They're not talking to men. They're talking to other women, specifically other black women, who are essentially telling them to hold the line. Men need women more than women need men. And if you just hold the line, we'll break the men. Ain't that right, Miss Bourbon Bougie? If you will just hold the line, you will break the men, because society will break the men for you. Especially if women are having children less and less, and if women are coupling up with men less and less, the society will force the men to pay for the women without exercising any power or influence. These women are not speaking to you, black men.
Personally, I am done with all women-centered events in 2025. The women empowerment brunches, lunches, the ladies' nights, I'm just gonna take a pause. Like, I need heard enough. I have my sisterhood. Of course, I'm open to making new friends, but there's other ways to do that and to spend my money. Like, where's the...
Shout out to Detro. She was not speaking to you, black men. She was speaking to women. She was speaking to black women. Black men are not the ones shaming black women for wanting to be with a man and being a bit, you know, telling you she need that itch scratched. She is not speaking to you. She's talking about you, but she's not talking to you. She's talking to other black women. She said she's tired of the empowerment brunches and all that other jazz. This young lady is not talking to you.
Oh, another night going home alone. This single life is ass. And don't get under my post talk about some. Just focus on yourself. Love yourself. Date yourself. I don't want to hear that shit. I really don't. I'm tired of it. Stop trying to tell me to mask my desires for being with someone else, that I should just be with
She's not, I'm going to play the whole thing out again. She's not talking to you, black men. She's talking about you, but she's talking to black women. Stop telling me to mask my desires. She's talking to Therese. She's talking to Bourbon Bougie. Huh? She's talking to Kim Foster Bowser. Huh? She's talking to Chrissy. She's talking to Real Talk with Yanni.
This is what I tell average looking and below average looking women. If you can't date up, be alone. Life is easier that way. And I know that's controversial. I don't care. I don't care.
She's talking to her, to Chrissy. Huh? Play it again, Z.
Oh, another night going home alone. This single life is ass. And don't get under my post talk about some. Just focus on yourself. Love yourself. Date yourself. I don't want to hear that shit. I really don't. I'm tired of it. Stop trying to tell me to mask my desires for being with someone else, that I should just be with myself. I've been with myself. I'm always going to be with myself. Like, it's me and her to the end of time. Like, stop it. Like, after a long day at work, I just be wanting to lay down. I want to cuddle. I want to tell my man about my day. I just want to hug. Like, damn. Like, it don't even be about all the other stuff y'all be talking about. It just be the simple things that you miss the most.
She's talking to women.
Like, that's really it. Like, it's not even like, it just be the simple things. That's all I'm going to say. So just be grateful if you got somebody and you got a hug today. Because you know what?
I don't need no man.
She's not talking to the men. She's not talking to black men. She is talking to black women. She's talking to Bourbon Bougie. This other young lady, once again, is not talking to black men. She's talking to Bourbon Bougie. She's talking to Kim Foster. Huh? She is talking to Therese. She is talking to Chrissy. She's talking to Real Talk with Yanni. Play for the people, Z.
You know what I'm getting real sick and tired of? Being single. And I get it. It's going to be some people in the comments talking about, you don't need a man to validate you. You should be by yourself. You should use this time to work on you.
She's talking to the women.
Fuck you. I'm sick and I'm tired and I'm tired and I'm sick of being single. I'm trying to come home to somebody every night. I'm trying to get my booty rubbed on. I'm trying to put on a cute dress and some heels and go out to dinner. I'm trying to get a bill or two paid. Like, I don't need a companion, somebody to talk to. I don't give a fuck about no validation.
She said it's not about being validated. She wants a companion. She's not talking to you, black men. She's talking to these political, lesbian, political, single, radical rad femmes, the radical feminist. Huh? She's talking to Bourbon Bougie. She's talking to Therese. She's talking to Kim Foster. She's talking to Chrissy. She's talking to Real Talk with Yanni. Huh? She's talking to all those women who tell her and other black women, the masses of black women, to hold the line. Keep going, Z.
Baby, let me tell you something, and this is going to be a rant. Single life is not for the weak. You know that. Be by yourself. Get ready for yourself. Get cute for yourself. All for yourself, for yourself, for yourself. We wasn't even created to be by ourselves.
She's not talking to you, black men.
In the Bible, it says man was not created to be alone. And that didn't mean man in regards to gender. That means human in regards to species was not created to be alone. Animals were not even created to be alone. Well, some animals, because I think once alligators and crocodiles have their babies,
she's talking to black women.
Know who their mama and their daddy is, but that's another topic for another conversation. Anyway, let's get back to this topic. It's boring over here in single woman world. It's so boring. It's so boring. Like, you only could keep yourself entertained, but for so much. There's only so much you can do to keep yourself entertained. Who wants to keep eating dinner by themselves? Who wants to keep going out on dates by themselves? Like, who wants to continuously be by yourself? It's something you adjust to, but it's not something that you like. Let's get that out there in the open right now. Let's stop fronting like, oh, we like being by ourselves. No, we don't. We just adjust to it because we don't want to have to deal with the shenanigans and the BS from another person.
I'm going to play out the whole thing again. It is something you adjust to. It's not something that you like. She's not talking to you, black men. She's talking to the women. She's talking specifically to black women. Black women are the ones running around here. I don't need no man. All that. Shout out to Messy Michonne, Rusty, Dusty, Crusty. Huh? Women, namely black women. She's not talking to you, black men. It's something you gotta get adjusted to. It's not something you like. It's not something you like. It's something that you adjust to. She's not talking to you. Huh? She's talking to the women who tell women like her to hold the line. Huh? It's better you be single than meet a man on your looks level that looks match and that's going to do right by you and you do right by him. It's better that you be single. These men are dusties. Black men are losers. Black men are not as moral and as just as black women, and black men don't have the power, the wealth, the influence, and don't dominate over society like white men. So black men are effectively defective black women and defective white men simultaneously. They're telling women like this to hold the line. That's what Kim Foster is saying. Suffer in silence. That's what Bourbon Bougie is saying. That's what Therese is saying. That's what Real Talk with Yanni is saying. Chrissy literally said it. Play it again, Z.
This is what I tell average looking and below average looking women. If you can't date up, be alone. Life is easier that way. And I know that's controversial. I don't care. I don't care.
Huh? Continuing.
Baby, let me tell you something, and this is going to be a rant. Single life is not for the weak. You know that. Be by yourself. Get ready for yourself. Get cute for yourself. All for yourself, for yourself, for yourself. We wasn't even created to be by ourselves. That's in the Bible. In the Bible, it says man was not created to be alone. And that didn't mean man in regards to gender. That means human in regards to species was not created to be alone. Animals were not even created to be alone. Well, some animals, because I think once alligators and crocodiles have their babies, they just let their babies go free. They don't even know who their mama and their daddy is. But that's another topic for another conversation. Anyway, let's get back to this topic. It's boring over here in single woman world. It's so boring. It's so boring. Like, you only could keep yourself entertained, but for so much. There's only so much you can do to keep yourself entertained. Who wants to keep eating dinner by themselves? Who wants to keep going out on dates by themselves? Like, who wants to continuously be by yourself? It's something you adjust to, but it's not something that you like. Let's get that out there in the open right now. Let's stop fronting like, oh, we like being by ourselves. No, we don't. We just adjust to it because we don't want to have to deal with the shenanigans and the BS from another person. And or God just has not sent you that person yet. And or you're dating and the dating is long distance. So you still have times and moments and days and weeks to where you're alone. Either way, being alone sucks. It sucks. It sucks worse than a breastfed baby. It sucks. And I need us to stop creating that narrative, or I need y'all, not us, y'all, to stop creating that narrative to where being single and being alone is so glorifying and it's so happy and no, it's not. 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 Because you even have moments and days and times to where you're like, where my person at? Where my people at? Where's my peoples? You're even asking those questions yourself. Where is my peoples? But instead of giving that narrative of life, you want to come on here and tell people how, oh, just be by yourself. Oh, just love on yourself. Yes, you loved on yourself enough to know that knucklehead that you was dealing with ain't worth the time.
When this young lady says, who wants to eat dinner by themselves every night? What she doesn't appreciate is they have an answer for you. That's why you're supposed to lean on the quote unquote community. The community being full of a handful of placating ass black men, like consciously, a whole lot of LGBTQ black folks, both men and women, so y'all can get y'all pansexual on, and the overwhelming majority of just black women. Huh? You're supposed to lean on the community. Mainly black women, some LGBTQ black men and women, and a handful of supposedly straight black men, the Conscious Lees of the world and the Alvins from Waving the Red Flag of the world. Yeah. So you don't have to eat dinner by yourself. You can eat dinner with your girlfriends and your homegirls. And your homegirls become your literal girlfriends, and then y'all go co-munching together. Uh-oh. They have an answer for you, madam. Huh? Instead of you submitting yourself to the patriarchy with these misogynists and these red pill guys, these red pill bros, and these podcast bros, it's better you be single. Huh? Yeah. So that young lady was not speaking to you either, black men. She's talking to black women. Now, I want to be very clear. If any of these women ever would have come up on this, don't expect them to admit that. No, I was talking to everybody. I was talking to black people. No. Cut it out. You're talking to black women. Now that it's already saved, it's clear that you're speaking to women, namely black women. Black men are not telling black women to stay your ass single if you can't end up with the uber wealthy man, particularly white man. Black men are not telling black women to be single if you can't find someone who doesn't align with you perfectly politically. Huh? Black men are not telling black women that, hey, if you're white collar and college educated and he's blue collar, but he's making similar money to you, a couple of dollars less, a couple of dollars more, don't be with him because, well, he's blue collar and you know they don't take education seriously. Huh? Black men are not telling black women that. Black men are not calling black women dusties. She's not talking to you, black men. She's speaking to the Bergen bougies. This other young lady is not. I'm playing these for a reason. Appreciate all these women are essentially saying the same thing, but they're not talking to you. They are talking to Kim Foster and Real Talk with Yanni and Chrissy. Huh?
Whatever reason, I'm just not allowed to experience love from another person. And yes, although, I don't have that, there are other areas of my life that are flourishing, like my YouTube channel and friendships, and it's giving me opportunity to pour into those friendships and pour into myself, which I think are equally as important. But I think people tend to forget that platonic love doesn't replace romantic love. And so as much as I am fulfilled by, my friendships and, relationships with my family and things like that,
When she says platonic love doesn't replace romantic love, she's not talking to you, black men. She is talking to those rad femmes. So your normal black woman. Oops. She is talking to the Kim Fosters of the world. She is talking to Bourbon Bougie. She is talking to Teresa. She is talking to what's the young lady I covered a few days ago? And I messed up her name yesterday and then I got it right. Shayna. She's talking to Shayna. Huh? She's not talking to you, dear black men. This young lady is talking to Shayna. She's talking to Bourbon Bougie. She's talking to Real Talk with Yanni. She's talking to Teresa. She's talking to Chrissy, Kim Foster. Name them. Platonic love can't replace romantic love. I can't lean on my girlfriends enough. These weirdo postmodernists really think they're going to get black women to spearhead this weirdo political lesbian feminism, this political single feminism. And what you see from these women that Mr. Z is playing is that they're running smack dab in the wall. Bow! Shout out to y'all eardrums. They're running smack dab into the wall of the limits of hyper individuality, of the limits of postmodernism. They're running into the wall. And what you're seeing from the women like Bree, what you're seeing from all of these women that Mr. Z is playing, is that these are the women that can't take it. And they can't even pretend like they can. They can't even play stoic. Once again, they're not talking to you, black men. They're talking to the women. Yes, they're somewhat talking to white women also, the white female technocrats, particularly on the left. But be very clear, they are speaking to the Kim Fosters of the world, even if they don't know who she is. Even if they don't know who Chrissy is. They are speaking to them. They're speaking to Ebony K. Williams. They're speaking to them. That's who they're talking to. That it's better to be single instead of being with your dusty son, and your son was able to bring home C's and D's. Huh? That's who they're talking to. Continuing.
Ever reason I'm just not allowed to experience love from another person. And yes, although I don't have that, there are other areas of my life that are flourishing, like my YouTube channel and friendships, and it's giving me opportunity to pour into those friendships and pour into myself, which I think are equally as important. But I think people tend to forget that platonic love doesn't replace romantic love. And so as much as I am fulfilled,
she's not talking to you, black men.
Friendships and relationships with my family and things like that, it still doesn't replace that desire that I have deep down for something more. And it's hard. It's a hard thing to suppress. It's a hard thing to put on the back burner, and not knowing how long I'm gonna be in this season scares me a little bit. And it also scares me to know that it may not ever happen. That it may not ever happen. And so it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making much sense in this video.
It's a hard thing to suppress. She's not talking to you, black men. Where in the world are the black men who are telling young black women on top of that? We're not even talking about older black women. Young black women in their 20s, even let's say their early 30s, and we want to be super nice and generous. I know some of y'all don't. Where are the black men that are telling black women to suppress their feelings for companionship with specifically black men? She's not talking to you, black men. She's talking to the Kim Fosters. She's talking to Bourbon Bougie. She's talking to Therese. She's talking to Real Talk with Yanni. Why is she talking to Real Talk with Yanni? Because Real Talk with Yanni a couple of years ago was talking like this.
Decenter men. This is not coming from a place of hurt, trauma. This is coming from a place of peace and happiness. And I just remember when I used to go out, and I used to just go out just to have a good time, laugh, great conversations, and just being a personality. My personality wasn't about getting a man. It was just about having fun. And I just want to get back to that. I just want to get back to me. And I'm tired of social media. I'm wanting to decenter men, decenter social media. And I just want to just be about me. I want to be selfish and self-centered as an ex-people pleaser, because everything nowadays is about getting a man, keeping a man, having a man's baby. And it's just too much. And I'm just getting nauseous just thinking about it. There has to be more to life than just men. And so now that I have decentered men for my life, I find myself actually having a good time. I go out in social settings. The objective isn't to get numbers, to get a man, to get a date. It's just to have great conversation. And I've been enjoying myself. I have. You know, I'm flirting. I'm having amazing conversations, meeting new people, and I'm just keeping it at that. And I like that. I feel in control, and I like how I have this I don't give a fuck attitude, and it's just very freeing. Whereas before, it was all about getting a man and hanging around women that wanted to go out just to get attention and to get a man. And it's just so exhausting. But now I actually go out. I'm actually having a great time. And I like it. I love it here, actually. I'm just tired of these videos. It's a man, it's a woman telling you, get a man, you need a man. You're gonna die alone. And I like being alone. I like it. It's peaceful. And this decentering men thing, I think it's necessary because a lot of women are exposing themselves to like temporary relationships just because they're listening to people online. And I don't know, I think it's kind of cute. I think it's funny because I'm a woman that actually enjoys being alone, right? I enjoy my aloneness. I think it's funny because some women feel like they're one-upping you because they have a temporary relationship. And I'm like, but your relationship is temporary. Even the women with rings, your marriage is temporary. Like, it's not lasting. It didn't last. A lot of women are in situationships, temporary relationships, friends with benefits, temporary relationships. They're just in these temporary relationships because social media is telling them that they need a man, or they should get a man, or hurry up, girl, better get your man before you hit the wall. It's like, it's just too much. And now I have moved to a space where I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And it feels so good because I just don't give a fuck. And nobody is going to force me to give a fuck. And I like it. And another thing, when it comes to this decentering men, I have embraced my masculine. I've embraced my feminine side. I've embraced my light feminine. I've embraced my dark feminine. I've embraced all of myself. And I love that for me.
If I remember the young lady's channel correctly, it's Life with Bree. I'm not talking about Real Talk with Yanni. Life with Bree was not talking to you, black men.
Reason I'm just not allowed to experience love.
That young lady right there is not talking to you. She is talking to Real Talk with Yanni. Even if she don't know Real Talk with Yanni, she is talking to her. These women are not talking to you. You're not the one who are telling them to mask their desires, to suppress their feelings of companionship with men. It's women who make other women, black women, who make other women feel disempowered for wanting to be with men.
Okay, I have one more thought that I have to get up as the sun is rising. Okay. Sometimes we lie to ourselves. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. And I am 32 this year. And it's almost the end of the year, so I'll be 33. And I'm just not about to go into 33 lying. So I'm going to be one of the first hard up type of women to admit that I want a man. I may actually need a man. that feels so disempowering sometimes to say in
That's the
2025.
feminist
When people make you
indoctrination
feel
right
like,
there.
oh, you're weak. It's like, fuck it. I want a man. I don't necessarily. Yes.
My question to black men is, who is causing her to feel disempowered? Who would call her weak? She said, people call you weak. Who's the people? Who's the people? Men? What men, namely black men, but what men would call you weak for that? Maybe a few weirdo LGBTQ men. What men will call you weak for that? She's not talking to you, black men. She's talking to Burb and Bougie. She's talking to Kim Foster. She's talking to Real Talk with Yanni. She's talking to Chrissy. She's talking to Shira Seven. She's talking to Divested Zealot, Divested Witch. Huh? Hashtag black woman. Huh? She's not talking to you, black men. Where's the black man on planet Earth, particularly straight black man, that will call this young lady weak for wanting to be with the man? That would cause her or help to induce some type of feeling disempowered for admitting that she wants to be with the man. Where are the men? Huh? Where are the men that would tell her she's weak for wanting to be a man, wanting to be with the man? No, we don't want to be a man, but wanting to be with the man. Who? These women aren't talking to you, black men. Huh? We'll play one more.
I am tired of the amount of gaslighting us single people have to go through. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things that
It's not single people. It's single women who are being gaslighted by other women. Women that are in relationships and women that are single also. Ladies, call the women out. Stop saying people. Stop being ambiguous with your language, because it's not the men. Men are not encouraging you, especially if you already graduated from college and university. It's not the men. Men are not telling 25 and 26-year-olds, 27-year-olds to remain single. Go have fun. Go do your hot girl summer thing. That's not men, and it's not black men. Black men are not gaslighting you. Stop being a coward and call it for what it is. Other women are gaslighting women. Continuing.
I am tired of the amount of gaslighting us single people have to go through. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things that our friends in relationships can get for free, we have to pay for. And there's no amount of self-love or therapy that can kind of circumvent the frustration that being single is very expensive. Because
she's not, I'm going to keep on playing this over and over again. She's not talking to you. No amount of self-love is going to mask that being single can be expensive. She's not talking to you, black men. She's talking to the women, the black women. Y'all notice they keep on saying, all of these women are saying the same thing. Oh, these are black women. I would argue that don't know each other, probably didn't see the videos from each other, scattered around the country, and they're all telling you, love yourself, be comfortable with yourself, self-love. This is the language that they're told in college and university, all through their entertainment spaces. What did Jeannie Mai say when her and Jeezy broke up? What did Tia Mowry say? Huh? What do these women say? What's the language? Tracy Ellis Ross, what does she say? Huh? They're all saying the same thing. They break up with a man. I'm going to learn to love myself more. I got to get more in touch with myself. There's a pun in there. Huh? What are all these ladies saying? Of course they're going to say they got to get in touch with themselves. I'll bet you mean that. Huh? Where are they getting this from? Is it straight men, straight black men pushing this to women, to black women, namely? They're all using the same language. Why? If this is not some tinfoil conspiracy, then you tell me what is. Every other day is some black men are dusty losers, borderline FBI crap going on. Well, them black trucks, Mr. Z be trying to make these black trucks pop up to the house. Anyway, ain't no way this is not every single day negative propaganda against black men directed to black women. Hey, this is, look. There's no way this is not a concerted effort. Every other day, not even every other day, Z, every single day, you damn right. And for all of these women to be saying the same thing. I'm tired of loving myself, no pun. I'm tired of the empowerment brunches. I can't suppress my feelings, my desires of wanting to be coupled up with a man. I'm tired of the amount of gaslighting. Who are they talking? Black men, who are they talking to? They're not talking to you. They're talking to white liberals, and they're talking to other black women. Yeah? They're not talking to you, black men. They might be talking to a couple of LGBTQ black men, but straight black men, they're not talking to you. Continue.
I am tired of the amount of gaslighting us single people have to go through. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things that our friends in relationships can get for free, we have to pay for. And there's no amount of self-love or therapy that can kind of circumvent the frustration that being single is very expensive. Because if, an example, I am sick, I don't have anyone who can cook for me. My friend can ask her boyfriend to cook for her. I have to DoorDash something. If I need help moving something in my house, I need to go find someone and pay that person to come over and move it. Well, my friend can just ask her partner. And all those things just add up. If you lose your job, you have someone who can help you with rent. If you are having like financial trouble or health trouble, you now need to like disclose that to your family or friends, which might be embarrassing, or you can tell your one husband or your wife to help you through that. It is so frustrating to have to go through so many things alone and make these really big decisions, hard decisions completely by myself. I have my friends, I have my family, I love them, I can lean on them, but maybe I don't.
That's directed to black women.
Maybe I don't want to have to over-explain my entire health condition to them. Maybe I just need someone to help me with a real quick task that I don't want to have to pay someone or wait for someone to drive across town to come help me. And it is so frustrating because we're told that, being single is great. And it's really great when compared to an unhealthy relationship. But being
She's
single
not talking
is
to
not
black
always
men.
better than having a healthy relationship. Don't get me wrong, I am not going to go hop into a relationship with a man just so I can have someone. But I do think we need to be honest that being single,
She's
while
not
can be
talking
really
to black
great,
men.
is also very impractical sometimes.
All that preferencing her statement with the whole I'm not gonna go jump into a relationship, and that wasn't for you. That was definitely for other black women. Huh? That was definitely for other black women. And it definitely is NASIC. Shout out to NASIC. For all of you that are new here, we have a term on Mr. Z's channel called NASIC. Negroes ain't ish, right? Industrial complex. Negroes ain't ish, industrial complex. Mr. Z almost forgot his own goddamn term. Negroes ain't ish, industrial complex. Huh? And Pastor OG says, step up community units. You hear me? Step up community units. So let's be very clear. All the clips Mr. Z played are women telling you they can't do this anymore. They can't do even the funny clips.
I feel like we don't talk about this enough, but the hardest part of being single is not having somebody to. Oh my God. Oh God. I'm not. Hey, oh God. Like, I didn't sign up for this celibacy life. It chose me. Oh God. This cannot be my life. This cannot be my life. This is the hardest part about being single because don't really be hitting like it's supposed to be hitting after a while, bitch. Oh, God. Hey, Lord, send me my man. Oh, this kind of...
She's telling you the toys ain't hitting the way they supposed to. Huh? The hardest thing of being single, do you think? Now, she might be talking to black men. She might be asking for somebody to throw the cape on. She's being funny, but she's not being funny, though. She's being funny, but she's dead ass serious. Huh? Yeah. Huh? Understand something. We're going to play this in a minute. Black men, when Mr. Z says the outliers are doing too much talking, yes, because what Mr. Z is playing here, you don't see that in mainstream media. You don't see it in mainstream media. You don't see it outside of the black manosphere. None of the ladies are covering this. Outside of the black manosphere and the adjacent kind of purple pill space, none of society, forget just the black community, none of society is playing the women screaming, white women, Latina women, black women, even a couple of Asian women screaming. They hate this single crap. Nobody's playing women's car confessionals. Huh? Particularly in the black community. How many videos do we have amongst all of us in the black manosphere of car confessionals and the like? Women crying, women complaining, women leaving clubs saying no man spoke to them, women saying bring back catcalling. Huh? Women showing up to speed dating events, mixers, matchmaking events, 100 deep, 80 deep, and only 5 men show up, 10 men show up, 15 men show up. No men show up. Huh? Wow, y'all. So the women are telling you they want to get that scratch itched. We got a couple of videos where the ladies are saying that they want to get that scratch itched. Others are telling you the companionship, as Mr. Z says often, they need to get these bills paid. They struggling right here, right now. Struggle with a K, not a T. Yeah. Anyway, so let's play this. Fair use, fair use. All right. And let's get underway with the main event. Bourbon Bougie, everyone.
Scott Galloway, Manosphere Light or Red Pill Light, he's out here promoting his book. And he is talking about how men need relationships more than women. And many of us already know and understand that because these dudes are not doing that well. You can look at them right now. I do enough of these dating profiles to see that they are aging in fast forward. They have these...
So the sneak dissing, everyone, the men are not doing that well. They're aging and fast forward. So the little sly, little sneaky comment, the little jab, of course she's gonna say the men are not doing that well. They're aging and fast forward. And Scott, we know that the men need the women. We know that already. Oh, y'all knew Mr. Z was gonna bring this up. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the US. Yeah, about that. Uh-oh. The average man spends $5,000 to $12,000 more per year when in relationship. Yeah, because the men need the women, right? Yeah, about that. Huh? Yeah, about that. And of course, she's gonna do her little sassy. The men are aging and fast forward. The men are aging and fast forward, and the women are literally struggling and starving and being evicted. Yeah. The women are forced to tell us love is love and you can't help who you love, Z. 23% of young black women now identify as bisexual. Yeah, because they don't really have a choice, Bourbon Bougie. Huh? Yeah, Miss Bourbon Bougie. They don't really have a choice. And even other black women are admitting that.
Black women do not be having the options that they say they got. And before you jump in my comments, no, I don't have a man. No, I don't have options. Okay, so I beat you to it. There you go. I already beat you to it. So if that's all you care about, you can go and scroll past this video.
Huh? Yeah. So of course, expect Bourbon Bougie to make these little sassy comments, these little slick one-liners, right? Of course she is. Of course she is. We know that they need us because when they're not with us, they're aging and fast forward. Yawn. Huh? Think you left your joke writer at home, ma'am. Continuing.
That they are aging in fast forward. They have these diets of Hennessy and hot wings because they're not properly being taught how to adult. They don't know how to caretake and they refuse to learn.
They're not properly being taught how to adult. Madam, black women have the least amount of wealth in America. They have 8 cents to the white man's dollar. Would you call that adulting? That means that they know how to adult, right? Yes, we understand we live in an anti-black society. Okay, Mr. Z would concede that. Madam, there's black women all over the place begging. What didn't a couple of weeks ago? It was a whole trend where black men in particular were exposing black women finding little slick ways to beg them. You want to talk about adulting, ma'am? Black women over here dry begging like a mug. But they're adults?
I'm making this as a PSA to any man that ever thought he had a chance with me or any man that wants a chance with me. If you like 50-50, stay where you're at, baby, because this mouth is only going to get more egregious. I promise you that. I'm paying these big bills and you think I'm not about to be talking to you out the side of my mouth? Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, because that's an adult, right? The men haven't been properly taught how to adult, but that's an adult, right? A woman that's telling you a 50-50 relationship to spite you, she's going to talk to you crazy. First of all, she's going to reject you at the mere notion of 50-50. Okay, fine. But if she did engage in that, she's telling you she's going to spite you, like on some temper tantrum, childish toddler thing. Because that's adulting, right? Yeah.
Niggas be so quick to let me take you on a trip. Let me take you on a trip. Pay a fucking bill. Pay a bill. Pay a goddamn bill.
Always begging. Damn.
Can we get on the phone? No, get on the phone with billing. Don't talk to me. Talk to billing.
Yeah, because that's an adult, right? That's what adulting looks like, right? Yeah. The men haven't been properly taught how to adult, while the women are dry begging. Doesn't adult kind of signify, when we think of adult, we think of a person that can sustain themselves, right? That's not out here begging, right? Sassy begging, aggressive begging, arrogant begging. Those are signs of being an adult, being able to take care of yourself without much or any help, to be honest. Mr. Z was trying to be nice with the much help. No, call it what it is. Being able to sustain and take care of yourself without any help, which means you ain't finding little sassy ways of begging. You want to talk about adulting? Bourbon Bougie, excuse me? Yeah, because this looks like adulting.
You can't send me no money for my hair. You can't send me no money for my nails. You can't give me no money for no food. You can't give me no money on my rent. You can't give me no money on my car note. Can't give me no money on my car insurance. Can't give me no money on my phone bill. Can't give me no money on my light bill. Can't give me no money on my gas bill. All you can give me is dick. Bitch, get the fuck away from me. That's all I want to hear is you get the fuck away from me, bitch. Because I don't want to hear shit and you can't do shit for me. Fuck, I like out here just giving my coochie up and you can't do nothing. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, nigga. Move the fuck on and move the fuck around because I'm ready to move on and move the fuck around too. Like, you say to me, oh, can I get some coochie? No, bitch, can I get some money? Fuck. So I gotta pay for cat? Yes. Yes, at this point, this pussy is for sale, bitch. You want some of it, you gotta give some money for it. I need nails, I need hair, I got bills, bitch.
Yeah, because that's an adult, right, Bourbon Bougie? That's adulting. That's the sign of adulting. Aggressive begging. As Riel says, black women talking about bad diets, but the outliers are doing too much talking. That's why Mr. Z says that. Bourbon Bougie got on Al Gore's internet talking about bad diets and eating hot wings and Hennessy when black women are the most overweight demographic in America. Average weight of what, 186, 189 pounds, something like along the lines, right? Black women are the most obese group of people. That's not Mr. Z saying that as some insult. That's a fact. Black women are the most obese demographic in America. It ain't nothing to see a black woman 5'4", 5'5", tipping the scale at over 200 pounds, 220, 250. Ooh, that's nothing in America. 5'5", 200 and some odd pounds. And Bourbon Bougie has the unmitigated gall, the audacity, and temerity, to talk about diet. But you can do that when you're singularly focused on mocking and making fun of men, black men in specific. You're so myopic, you're not even considering, oh, wait a minute, I might not want to go there. You ever joke with someone, y'all playing the dozens, and there's places you won't go because you know you'll open a Pandora's box to get lit the hell up? When black women consider black men, which is like rarely, they never actually think of how exposed they are. Imagine, and Azriel's right, imagine a black woman, even if she's fit, talking about black men in their diet, in their weight. Imagine. What's the young lady from San Francisco? Oh no, San Diego. San Diego. I reviewed some of her stuff earlier this year, a couple of times actually. She did the same thing. You don't see black men in the gym? I know you ain't talking about who we don't see in the gym. Maybe you're in the gym as an individual black woman in San Diego, one of the whitest places in America, or one of the least black places in America. All of the facts, all of the history, all of the anti-blackness, all of America's misandry towards black men, all of it goes out the window when black women want to insult black men. All of a sudden, the history is not the history anymore. The facts aren't the facts anymore. The politics aren't the politics anymore. The anti-blackness in the system, particularly directed towards black men, even directed towards black women when it comes to who's going to choose up on them outside of the black community, all of that go out the window just to insult black men. So yeah, Azriel, of course you're going to bring up diet. All it would have took was 2 seconds. Do I, as a black woman, really want to talk about what black men are eating and drinking? I might be fit, but are other black women? Imagine a black woman talking about diet, Hennessy and hot wings. The insanity. Black women, the most chronically single group of people in America, and you wonder why. Continuing.
Shifted to make them properly learn how to adult, and women are pulling back. And now that women are able to financially stand on our own, go to school, we're not listening to these people that can't stand a college educated woman or a woman.
Black women able to financially stand on their own. Wait, what? Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the US. Bourbon Bougie. Once again, if you're listening, if you come to this on the replay, read the article. It specifically emphasizes single childless Black women. So you can't even say, oh, Black man got her pregnant and ran off. Nope, 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 nope. Single childless Black women have the least amount of wealth in America. Black college educated women, what did Jason Black say? 99% more college student loan debt than white women. Black women have the most college student loan debt of any group in America. Huh? They owe more longer. Wow. But it's not just this. If Black women are doing so well financially, then why do they need a social safety net as they age? Because they're kinless, which means, remember, if you're kinless, more than likely you didn't have a husband, you don't have any children. So you never had anything weighing you down financially. Why do you need a social safety net then? A disproportionate number of Black women are kinless as they age. Advocates say they deserve a social safety net too. Bourbon Bougie. If y'all doing so well financially, then why do you need a social safety net as you age? Huh? Z, maybe you need to read this again. Concerning Asperger's, Mr. Z always want to put a B in there. It is a neural developmental condition that affects social interactions and communication, characterized by challenges with social cues, empathy, one more Genzi, empathy, and relationships. Huh. Yeah. Miss Bourbon Bougie, I don't know. Miss Bourbon Bougie. Continuing.
Without worrying about the validation of men, and because of that, many of these men are failing and flailing. So in this interview, and I'm not going to play this video, in this interview, he
failing and flailing, yet Black men's interracial marriage rate is increasing. So what Ms. Bourbon Bougie is trying to tell us is that Black men are failing and flailing in an anti-Black system, and yet somehow Black men are able to trick an increasing amount of non-Black women into marrying them. Meanwhile, Black women's interracial marriage rate is stagnant. Well, better yet, their marriage rate is stagnant, if not decreasing. Their interracial marriage rate is not increasing appreciably in any respect. In other words, the more Black men that marry out is the less men that Black women get to marry, point blank, period. Of any race. But remember, Black men, you're failing and flailing, or flailing and failing, as she said, as Bourbon Bougie said. So for these people that are such failures, now she's going to say that she was just talking about men in general, whatever the hell. For a group of people, men, if Black men are failing so badly, flailing and failing, then where are the interracial marriages from Latinas and white women mainly, but even some South and East Asian women coming from? So those women are being tricked by Black men? They're being bamboozled by Black men? How are Black men able to walk these women down the aisle if they're such failures? Huh? Continuing.
Relationships more, because if they are not connected to a woman, they are apt to fall down the conspiracy theory pipelines, to get addicted to corn, and to start engaging in a lot of misogyny. And we see all of the misogyny and the hatefulness and the rhetoric online. We see them attempting
the misogyny, the hateful rhetoric, and the misogyny online. Madam, I would like to direct the whole world to you with your misandry. I keep saying this to all you technocrats. Is it that women like this, they speak like this, and they're deliberate and intentional with their words, and they're slower, and maybe it's because they don't have any bass in their voice? Is that why you take what they say seriously and you don't see them as the gender warring maniacs that they are? Is it because they speak like this that you don't see them taking jabs at men, particularly straight black men? Huh? She gets to talk about misogyny and we don't get to talk about misandry. Why? Because she speaks like this? Because she frames it as, once again, women being the ultimate victims of men? And finally, that women and men are decoupling. Men in their insane ineptitude are falling on their face? Is it because she's framing it like that that you take what she's saying seriously? Or are you taking what she's saying seriously because you don't see her as a threat? Ooh, that means you're not taking what she's saying seriously, but you're going to pretend to. To all the technocrats, is it because she speaks like this? To all the social designers, the talking heads, the pundits, is it because Miss Bourbon Bougie speaks as if she's concerned for women and she loves women and she just wants to see women win and she doesn't want to see women stuck with incapable, inept loser men? Is it because she frames it like that that you take what she says serious? Wait, Z, you put too much bass in your voice, Z. Wow. Continuing.
Online. We see them attempting to, it's this weird cycle where they can't stand that women are not being shamed into getting with them. But on top of the way they go about it, they're just making themselves repellent, a woman repellent with their rhetoric. So it's a cycle that's self-perpetuating because they get angrier and
If the men are, in the way they speak and think about women, if they are repellent towards women, then explain the women going to matchmaking events, dating events, speed dating events, mixers, and then complaining that there's not enough men, if any men at all. If the men are repellent towards the women, then why are the women complaining about not being street harassed, about not being catcalled, about men not speaking to them at clubs and bars? Huh? About men not spending money on them at bars and clubs? About men not showing up to speed dating events, mixers, and matchmaking events? If the men are repellent, then where are all the videos of women speaking about being single and miserable coming from? I present to everyone, the outliers are doing too much talking. This is an example of the outliers doing too much talking, everyone. Men as a repellent, meanwhile women are complaining, struggling, and starving. Huh? Struggle stoicism. Struggling with a smile on their face while they aggressive beg, sassy beg, and obligation beg. Bourbon Bougie, everyone. The outliers are doing too much talking. Continuing.
because they get angrier and angrier, and women are doing fine without these men, because women know how to create community without these dudes. Now,
women know how to create community without these dudes.
Personally, I am done with all women-centered events in 2025. The women empowerment brunches, lunches, the ladies' nights, I'm just gonna take a pause. Like, I need enough. I have my sisterhood. Of course, I'm open to making new friends, but there's other ways to do that and to spend my money. Like, where's the
Women know how to create community without these dudes.
Whatever reason, I'm just not allowed to experience love from another person. And yes, although, I don't have that, there are other areas of my life that are flourishing, like my YouTube channel and friendships, and it's giving me opportunity to pour into those friendships and pour into myself, which I think are equally as important. But I think people tend to forget that platonic love doesn't replace romantic love. And so as much as I am fulfilled by, my friendships and, relationships with my family and things like that, it still doesn't replace that desire that I have deep down for something more. And
Yeah. Community, right? Community. You got another one, Z?
I am tired of the amount of gaslighting us single people have to go through. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things that our friends in relationships can get for free, we have to pay for. And there's no amount of self-love or therapy that can kind of circumvent the frustration that being single is very expensive. Because if, an example, I am sick, I don't have anyone who can cook for me. My friend can ask her boyfriend to cook for her. I have to DoorDash something. If I need help moving something in my house, I need to go find someone and pay that person to come over and move it. Well, my friend can just ask her partner. And all those things just add up. If you lose your job, you have someone who can help you with rent. If you are having like financial trouble or health trouble, you now need to like disclose that to your family or friends, which might be embarrassing, or you can tell your one husband or your wife to help you through that. It is so frustrating to have to go through so many things alone and make these.
Yeah, community replacing these dudes. Once again, everyone, the outliers are doing too much talking. Bourbon Bougie, it sound nice. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I'm going to read you guys super chats in a minute. Bourbon Bougie, it sounds nice. But yeah, about that. Community replacing dudes, right? I don't know. Not according to these women. They're in community with other women, other black women. And yet something's missing. There's a big, veiny, black obelisk missing in the conversation. A baby arm. Huh? Something's missing, madam. Miss Bourbon Bougie. Huh? Continuing.
Or society needs to fix things. And the way he's talking, when they talk about society, they mean the women of society, because for whatever reason, these men, these big brain, most logical leaders can't come together and create these things for men. What did he say? Better tax policy. Okay, cool. Make a better tax policy. That will help us. He says more vocational programs. It was like, what was it? The No Child Left Behind situation that stripped a lot of these programs from the schools. Cool. Who did that? And go back and fix it. That will help a lot of people. And then he says, this is what he says, universal childcare will help men because the first year after a divorce, men are more susceptible to self-deletion. Cool. Get universal childcare. That will help women as well. Do it. How are you going to push that through? Because right now we live in a patriarchy where they are attempting to strip every single thing that creates conveniences for women. And by that same token, it jacks up the men too, because these programs and these things are not available to men. So what is he going to have to do?
Provide conveniences for the women, but if the women were so kick-ass, they wouldn't need the conveniences. If the women were so kick-ass, it wouldn't matter what gets stripped from them. They wouldn't need the conveniences. Now, Mr. Z is not anti the conveniences, not all the way, but madam, these are your words. If the women were so kick-ass, if the women had community that made the dudes irrelevant, your words, madam, then it wouldn't matter if the conveniences get stripped away. The women would lean on each other. They would lean on community, and it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't need the conveniences. You wouldn't even be bringing it up. It would not matter. Huh? If the issue is that not enough men are attending college, not enough men are emotionally intelligent, right? Not enough men, as you said, the men are eating hot wings and Hennessy and drinking Hennessy. If that's the issue, then some rich elite white men, mainly conservative and Republican, stripping away the conveniences would not really matter for the women because the women wouldn't need it anyway. They would be so kick-ass in the community that they built of mainly other women, black women, and some LGBTQ men and women, mainly black, would be so robust that it would not matter what conveniences get stripped away. What are you saying exactly, Bourbon Bougie? Or are you just trying to be a little antagonistic troll, hiding behind advocacy for women? Once again, my title, Weirdo Women Who Hide Behind Female Advocacy. Continuing.
He's going to have to advocate for things that make society better. It will improve things for men, but at the same time for women as well. But the thing is, I haven't heard anything about how they are supposed to make men better. Like,
and make men better for who? Look, with this weirdo hypergamy, go to therapy, so that you could be indoctrinated with our feminist crap. Look, ma'am, how about we say no? Enough men grab their passports and get out of here. Enough men do SYSBM and women figure it out. Shout out to leaning on the community, being in co-munching covens. Huh? Make the men better for who? Little gender warring trolls like you? Make the men better for who? No, ma'am. You end up with the men you have, and some of y'all are saying this lady is married, Bourbon Bougie. So once again, are y'all saying another woman who's walking other women off the edge of the cliff of loneliness and antidepressant pills and rose toys, but yet she don't even buy the drug she sells? Is that what y'all telling me? She not smoking on her own. She not getting high on her own supply. If y'all telling me she's married, y'all telling me she not getting high on her own supply. So she's selling other women on a lifetime of single, lonely, childless, antidepressant pills, rose toys, and Lifetime movies. Huh? She's selling other women on co-munching covens. Is that what y'all telling me? That's if she's married. Huh? Better men. For who? Entitled, consumerist, materialistic, mean, snarky, sassy, rude, aggressive, combative, antagonistic trolls like you, ma'am? Single versions of you, if you are married. Yeah. Young black men in specific said about that. Let me hurry up and finish this goddamn education. Grab my passport and get the hell up out of here. Young black men said yeah about that. How about I just date outside the black community? Ugh. Young black men said yeah about that. I'm just gonna go monk mode for a couple of years, and yeah, we just gonna chill out in monk mode and not show up to these people's speed dating events, matchmaking events. Leave her out here to be on the carousel with Brad and Ahmed and Lee and Juan and them. Huh? See her on the other side of 40 years old with the kente cloth, talking about she loved black men. Huh? You want to talk about being better, making men better? Yeah, about that. Young black men have an answer to that. An increasing interracial marriage rate. While black women's marriage rate, by the way, sign of stability, is stagnant. Continuing.
random person. He's talking about this article from Vice that was talking about man keeping. I have talked about the man keeping situation before, but listen.
As we said earlier, who's keeping who when Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the U.S.? Huh? That's not Black women who got divorced and somehow the Black man took half. Some weirdo story I would come up with. Huh? That's not Black women who had 2 or 3 kids from a man and then he left her with the kids in the debt. No, this is single Black women. If you go through the article, it says single and childless Black women have the least amount of wealth in America, madam. Miss Bourbon Bougie. Yeah. Are you just talking to be talking? Let me read this one now. And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. KMS says, spits up coffee. She's married? Typical. So that's what some of the brothers in the comments were saying. I'm not sure. I don't know. So that's not been confirmed by me. But if they are correct and she is married, then that means she's never getting high on her own supply. Shout out to Biggie. Rest in peace. Yeah. You know, rest in peace, Kevin. Kevin used to say, single women keeping women single. And Mr. Z says, no, women just keeping women single. Women just keeping women single. Whether they're married women, whether they're single women, whether they have children, whether they don't have children, women tell other women not to couple up with men, particularly Black men. And we see what that equates to. High-ass eviction rates, depression, antidepressant pills, regretting not having children. Huh? I read it was on Instagram. Vivica A. Fox telling Oprah one of her biggest regrets for her career was never having children. Huh? Wow. So Bourbon Bougie gets to talk this. There's a number of women. They just talking. And they're selling all because this is supposed to be what empowerment looks like. This is what's supposed to be liberating. This is what autonomy is supposed to look like. This is what freedom is supposed to look like for Black women. Just being antagonistic trolls to Black men in specific, giving Black men the middle finger. And so everyone's in on it, except for some straight Black men. Other straight Black men are in on it. LGBTQ Black people, namely Black men, are in on it. Other Black women, whether they're married or not, are in on it. Whether they're with a Black man or non-Black man, they're in on it. Selling women in general, Black women specifically, this weirdo form of empowerment that essentially equates to them just giving Black men, the middle finger. So whether they're married or not, KMS, whether Bourbon Bougie's married or not, really means nothing because she's selling this form of quote unquote empowerment, which is just antagonistic, mean girl trolling behavior. What does it result to? Nothing. Huh? What does it equal out to? Nothing. Black and Latina women have the least amount of wealth in America, single. Huh? Let me read this one now too. Don't worry, you guys, for the rest of your super chats, I'm gonna get to them. And KMS says, in my youth, there was a kid in my neighborhood who used to talk cash-ish only because his older brother lived to fight and would begrudgingly stick up for him. She reminds me of him if she's married. Well, it's Akash and his wife, right? It's Akash and his wife, which we're all learning the real dynamics of now. Some of you might remember it was only one time. At one time, I was on Edge Channel. This is years ago. This is like, ooh, maybe 4 years ago, something like. And it was a nighttime stream, and Ed played Akash ripping into, no pun, ripping into to Myron about, supporting your own women and whatever. And for those of you who were there or who were listening to Z, I was on Edge Channel and I went to Snap It and said, Akash, if you're not gonna marry him, then shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about. Now that's not Mr. Z defending Myron, because even then I was calling Myron a weirdo. With that, all that talk sound nice, but men like that talk that crap and then they don't marry black women. Huh? It reminds me of Akash and his wife, and now you understand why. Because look at Akash. Mr. Z knew something was wrong with him from back then. And now we're finding out. So yes, you see it with a number of these women. Paris Milan hiding her marriage from her subscribers. Hiding her marriage to a black man. Yes, he's African. Yes, he's Nigerian, if I'm not mistaken. But hiding her marriage to a black man from her subscribers. Why? Because Paris Milan kept on selling that over every corner is some black man, 50 some odd year old, 40, 50, 60 some odd year old black man preying on some innocent 14-year-old black girl. She kept on selling that. The femicide talk. Meanwhile, she's engaged to and then married to a black man. So whether Bourbon Bougie is married or not, whether in secret Chrissy's married, right? Whether in secret Real Talk with Yanni got her a boyfriend, it doesn't mean much, because whether they're single or not, whether they're with a black man or a non-black man, whether they're LGBTQ or not, black women are all selling other black women the same thing. That's why Mr. Z played the clips of black women telling other black women, look, I can't do it no more. I'm tired of being single. I'm tired of being gaslit. I'm tired of loving on myself. And I mean that as a pun and not. Huh? So yeah, and thank you for the super chat, KMS. Thank you for the super chat. KMS continues and says, women talk cash-ish, but women talk the most cash-ish when they are under protection. Cue husband wealth, government subsidies, chicks getting quiet. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, KMS. Ain't nothing funnier than stay-at-home white feminists talking all the crap in the world. Huh? Stay-at-home white feminists with the same type of I don't need no man type of talking points. They like the sassy, and this is another thing. They love the sassy, I don't need no man black women tropes. They love it. Huh? Because somewhere in their mind, their alternative personality, like some Beyonce, Sasha Fierce type crap, black women are their Sasha Fierce. Huh? Sassy black with these single sassy black women are their Sasha Fierce. So women being married while talking all this crap. Look, Miss Foster was talking all this crap. Now she in a really serious long-term relationship. She's still talking all this crap. It didn't change anything. No, it didn't change anything. You gotta be little mean antagonistic trolls to men, namely black men, regardless of your situation. And you're gonna watch black women continue to encourage other black women to be single. It's better you be single and childless, huh? Than be on a black man's program. Down with the patriarchy. Meanwhile, I'm a stay-at-home mother, and my husband is paying for everything. Huh? Down with the patriarchy. Meanwhile, my husband pays 80 some odd percent of the bills, 70% of the bills. But down with the patriarchy. I do 32 or 40 hours a week. My husband has 2 jobs and does 60, 65, 70, 75 hours a week. Maybe have 2 full-time jobs, does 80 hours a week, 2 40-hour jobs, but down with the patriarchy. Yeah, that's it. Huh? My husband pays the mortgage, I pay the utilities, and that mortgage is way more than all the utilities, but down with the patriarchy. Huh? We have a 2-bedroom apartment. My boyfriend pays for the apartment, but down with the patriarchy. Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? Down with the patriarchy. Okay. So yeah, KMS, look, these women go and talk crap whether they're married or not, single or not, children or not, huh? Whether they're with a white man or a black man, no man, another woman. This is their way of feeling free and liberated. I could talk crap to black men and there's nothing they could do about it except for leave. Ooh. Huh? Except for leave. They can always do that. Yeah. Continuing.
He says, I already posted about this, but I can't stop thinking about how sociopathic it is. This is literally saying that caring for someone else in a relationship is in itself a problem, that sharing your feelings with someone else is unpaid labor. And he put that in quotes. This is actually one of the most inhumane sociopathic articles I have ever seen posted. It's not about gender. This attitude is so toxic and destructive that it needs to be called out and shut down. Okay, so here's the article. So here's this post. It says, man keeping is why more and more women are done with dating. And at the top, the caption says, managing his stress, interpreting his moods, holding his hand through feelings he won't share with anyone else. All of it unpaid, unacknowledged, and often unreciprocated. Is it any wonder women are fed up? And on top of the emotional labor that...
Once again, women are speaking as if they have a monopoly on emotional labor, and it's causing them to be fed up. Now, I want to be very clear. Whatever white men got going on with white women or Latinos or Asian women, specifically talking about the black community, I wish a black woman would. Y'all better send them to Z. Talk as if they have a monopoly on emotional labor. They're doing all this emotional labor, and black men are just what? Existing. So Bourbon Bougie is reading through the comments, and she acted like this applies to the black relationship, black men, black women. Because black women are doing all this emotional labor and black men are doing nothing. Yeah, that's it. The interesting thing that black women get to do is they get to have one foot in, quote unquote, woman, and then one foot in black woman. So black women get to insult, demean, dismiss black men because black men aren't white men. In other words, black men aren't men, right? So whatever white men get to celebrate, black men don't get to celebrate that because you ain't men. You didn't conquer, grape, pillage, and then make black women the beauty standard and, quite frankly, the quote-unquote woman of the planet. Okay, fine. But yet, when it's time to speak about all the negativity that comes from said white patriarchy, which they just call patriarchy, then black men must hold that bag with white men. Huh. Black women get to levy all of the concerns and issues they have with black men as being black men, but then all the issues and concern of black men being men. Yeah. So they get to talk this emotional labor talk when everyone, this is like the number one thing for black men, is how aware black men are, how emotionally intelligent black men are. But when you let black women and black LGBTQ and these weirdo liberals talk, all of a sudden, black men are like these aggressive Neanderthals along with white men. As a matter of fact, if you find the right white liberal man or Latino and he kind of looked like he got some sugar in his tank, then he's more emotionally intelligent and aware than your average black man. You meet Sid White Man, and all he is a placater. And that's if he exists. Emotional labor, everyone. The ladies can't get you on the tangibles. Black men still earn more than black women, etc., etc. Men still earn more than women, particularly over the age of 30 years old. So now we're talking about the emotional labor. Oh boy, continuing.
Are fed up. And on top of the emotional labor that women are supposed to do, women are the ones that are doing most of the labor within the home. And
that was a Freudian slip, madam. You meant what you said when you said all. Well, most. No, you want to say all. That lets you know where her mind is. We're doing things and we're not being compensated for it. Make the government or make the men pay us for washing some damn dishes or folding some clothes. Potentially being the primary caretaker of the children. All the domestic labor, right? Yeah, that's it. Appreciate she talks like this. This is women, namely black women's little snarky response to what Professor Galloway was saying on The View. It's fascinating watching black women's response to this. Black women in specific, the most chronically single group of people in America. How is it that the most chronically single group of people in America got all these complaints for black men who they also complain are swirling and divesting in their mind? They're not the swirlers and divestors. You are, black men. Okay, yeah, that's it. Black men who are passport bros and SYSBN. In other words, they're dating, increasingly dating, and potentially marrying non-black women. But yet black women are complaining about that and about all this emotional labor they have to do for black men who are not with them. How's the math in here? Huh? How's the mathing? Continuing.
And precisely why they are opting out. They are saying, look, you need to participate more in the home. You need to learn how to form friendships so you're not dumping everything on me. Reciprocity is important. I support you, you support me. But what did he hear? He heard, I can't share anything with this other person. That's sociopathic. It's the selective listening. It's pulling one thing out and honing in on it. It's choosing not to hear what women are saying and just going off on tangents, being angry. And this is why they are going to remain lonely, because they refuse to listen to women. Even though
I just played a bunch of videos of women complaining about being lonely. You know what you gotta love about the framing of this, and even Dr. Scott Galloway participates in this type of behavior and language, is that the men are out here being these little monsters because they're lonely, but the men are lonely because something's wrong with the way they behave, the way they think, and the way they think about relationships and women in specific. The women, on the other hand, are living their best life. And Mr. Z just played y'all damn their 15 minutes of videos of women, black women in this case, all speaking about and complaining about being single, being lonely, being horny, lacking companionship. lacking someone in the home that can help them with physical tasks. Ms. Burb and Bougie, though, threatens men that this is why you're single and lonely. Because y'all won't just listen to women. Meanwhile, women listen to women, and that's why they're single and lonely. Ms. Burb and Bougie, women listen to women, and they're single and lonely. But men should listen to women so that we could continue to be single and lonely? Yeah, about that. Continuing.
Refuse to listen to women. Even the women that are having these conversations, if men would just be quiet and listen to the videos or read the comment sections, they would know and understand that maybe how they can adapt so they're not repellent to women. But they won't do it because they won't listen to women. Here he is again, because people must be giving it to him in the comments saying, many are obsessing over the line, often unreciprocated, and using it to try and explain away the obvious truth that the wording of this article is sociopathic at best. Yeah, obviously, having a partner who doesn't care about you would be bad, but it's tacked on as an afterthought to this headline. The thrust of the headline is, in fact, the idea that having to listen in any capacity to your partner's emotions is an unacceptable burden. That's literally what it's saying, but that's literally not what it's saying. It's saying have some friends. It's saying if you actually need mental health help,
Do black men not have friends? You know what? It's fascinating listening to these folks with this men don't have any friends talk. As BGS said, y'all not counting the way we count friendship. We don't have to see them every other day. Y'all don't also count the friends that we've made online. Much of the funniest thing about this conversation between men and women over the past couple decades is that the academics and the talking heads and the pundits and the technocrats are so feminized in the way they view the world that they demand that men move like women. Right? Now, you're still supposed to protect, provide, and shut up, but yet the way you form friendships, the way you see friends, it's supposed to be like women. You're supposed to kind of sort of emote like women, but not really. Z, that don't make no sense. I know. You're supposed to seek therapy like women, right? Because this is supposed to be what you see as like edifying. And this is where you go to seek solutions, right? Like fundamentally, we just don't respect the different sexes and the way they tend to operate because we flatten sex. Notice Mr. Z didn't say gender. Gender performance is just that, a performance. And so why can't the men move and speak like the women? So now you have this black woman speaking as if, I guess, black men don't have friends. And in other words, stop trauma dumping on me. These are the people that claim to be more emotionally intelligent than you. Huh? As Logan said to Professor Galloway, Logan, a white woman, what women really mean by emotionally intelligent is really you soak up their emotions. You be their little emotional crash test dummy. But they will not reciprocate that because now you're trauma dumping. They're full-on hypocrites, Bourbon Bougie. Bourbon Bougie, I would like to direct you to Bourbon Bougie. Continuing.
mental health help, get some professional help. It's saying stop making your romantic partners your everything, and this is what women do not want. So what do you want to do? Are you going to do anything about it, or are you just going to be upset that women are opting out? Feel the bill says your partner isn't.
Women aren't opting out. Black women in specific, aren't opting out. They're trying to piece together men. They got the man that they get vitamin D from. They got the man that they get lunch from. They got the man that got to connect to the mechanic if he's not a mechanic himself. Huh? They got the man, the co-worker probably, who they got in the friend zone. The women are not okay, everyone. Don't let Burb and Bougie fool you.
When you
Continuing.
date, to have your emotions in check to the point where your partner doesn't become a replacement for a real qualified therapist. Content creator Professor Neil actually chimes in. He says this is a gross misrepresentation of the issue. The man keeping complaint is specifically about being required to do all of the emotional work for a partner who refuses to do any work by and
Let's let that keep on going. Wait a minute.
it's not an act of selfishness, but self-preservation in the refusal to accept a selfish partner. There you go.
A gross over-exaggeration. The women are doing all of the emotional work. Bring that to the black community, Burb and Bougie. I dare you. Black women are doing all the emotional work. Don't Accountable Commentary have a video right now of a black man who his girlfriend was beating on him in front of the cops, trying his hardest for her not to get arrested? She's telling the cops, I'm going to beat his butt in front of you. Like she literally said that to the cops. She begins to strike him in front of the police. And the boyfriend is saying, I don't want her to get arrested. He's trying to calm her down. He's telling her, look, chill out before you get arrested. The police are not worried about him. They're not trying to arrest him. He's trying his hardest. She still ends up getting arrested because she can't help herself. Emotionally intelligent, right? Emotional labor, right? This is a black man in America who is putting his life on the line, defending a woman who is striking him in front of the police. This is not the first time. Y'all remember just a couple months ago, we had a heavy-set black woman. What was that, in a church or somewhere? Somewhere she was, and she was attacking her, black husband? In front of the cops again, and she told the cops essentially, this is what we do. In other words, this is how black people get down. Black women beat up on black men, and you in my way. This is how I discipline my Negro. Remember, y'all, Burb and Bougie talking about emotional intelligence. And if you remember, that black husband, I think he was black husband, black boyfriend, was trying to get the cops to calm down. Look, we good, we good. Remember, y'all, Burb and Bougie over here talking about emotional labor and emotionally intelligent. Meanwhile, black men are putting their life on the line to defend black women who are physically assaulting them in front of the police. We're not talking about a domestic dispute where a black man start playing innocent and whatnot, and he was just striking his black wife, his black girlfriend, or none of that. No. And he stops once the police show up. No. These are black women who are telling police officers they're going to continue to physically assault black men in front of the police officer. Huh? But Burb and Bougie want to tell you about emotional intelligence and emotional labor. What's more laborious than knowing that you are dealing with an officer with a gun who can take your life, and you're a black man in America, and your primary concern is that your black woman, she's not your black woman, your black woman does not get arrested? Huh? We saw this with Sha'Carri Richardson in an airport, physically assaulting her boyfriend, her then boyfriend. She pulled the same thing. Y'all are in the way of me disciplining my Negro. Huh? When y'all hear Mr. Z say my Negro concerning black women, appreciate, I don't mean it as the term of endearment. I mean it like a slave owner. Why are y'all in the way of me disciplining my Negro? This is what we do. Isn't that essentially what Sha'Carri Richardson said? And what did he do? The boyfriend once again tried to defend her, try to de-escalate. Sha'Carri Richardson was calling him all type of coward, aggressive. Her attitude was, wait until we get home. I got something for your ass. These are 3 stories Mr. Z was able to list off. Easy, quick, of black women physically assaulting black men in front of the authorities and then telling the authorities to mind your business. And yet, before Mr. Z continues, and the black men were trying to de-escalate. Their primary concern for all of these stories, especially when the black men realized he wasn't going to be arrested, his primary concern was making sure she doesn't get arrested, making sure that she's safe. And yet Burb and Bougie talking about emotional labor. Imagine defending a person who's assaulting you in front of the authorities in a country that has assaulted you in front of the authorities. You being assaulted has been caught on camera for decades by the authorities. And yet when the authorities pull up, your concern is not of your own safety, but the safety of the person assaulting you in front of the same authorities who have been caught on camera assaulting you. And Burb and Bougie got the unmitigated gall to talk about emotional labor. The audacity and the gumption to speak about emotional labor concerning black men. Who else does that? Continuing.
Succinct, beautiful. I love it, Professor Neil. All right, cool. Random person says, okay, here's a headline I came up with in a few seconds that fits your narrative of what this is about. Too many women are in relationships with men who won't listen, who won't take accountability, and who won't share the emotional burdens of their relationship with their partners. Is it any wonder many women are fed up? Yet this is not, in fact, what was written in this headline, not even close. You are denying your own lying eyes in order for it to mean what you want it to. Okay, I get it. He's upset about the headline. This is all in the body of the article. He's upset about the headline. The whole point of the headline is to make people open up the article and read it. I got it. Okay, that.
Translation, trolling ass headline, you're supposed to read the article. In other words, we're going to insult the men and belittle them, but if only you would read the article, then you would understand. This is the same type of language for those of us that remember the group of LGBTQ folks that was on the Breakfast Club once, and they were getting on Charlemagne for something supposedly that he said that was some type of LGBTQ phobic, and they were insulting him, and they said, we were insulting you, but we love you, and it's love, it's out of love. You gotta love it. Women are telling you, women have completely flipped the table over. They're telling you, we gonna physically assault you, we gonna belittle you and demean you. But if only you would understand, then you would understand why we do it, because we love you. We care about you. We care about your outcome. So we got to insult you into doing what we say. If you would only shut up and listen. Huh? If only you would shut up and listen.
What if black women were supposed to be the leaders and black men are just supposed to protect with their muscles and use their listening ears and carry out instructions?
Huh? You would understand. Just shut up and listen.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Huh? Continuing.
I got it. Okay, that helped. All right, so he's upset, but that's not going to do anything because it's not going to change. Women as a collective are opting out for a reason. Content creator Ask Aubrey shared this. She says, young women and girls are less likely than their counterpart in wanting to get married. And these dudes chime in and show exactly why. So in her screenshots, she's showing the men's commentary. She shared this post to her TikTok page, I believe. This is a Pew Research graph. So it starts in 1993 and it spans to 2023. And girls are wanting to get married less and less. So in 1993, it was at 83%. It has now fallen to below the boys at 61%. The boys have pretty much stayed the same, 76% in 1993, 74% in 2023. Girls are more likely to not want to get married. And this mirrors what was said with that poll from MSNBC, where Gen Z women put marriage and babies at the very bottom, whereas they are more so aiming to get their careers, their education, and all of that together. This is all making sense because misogyny is out there pushing.
We're going to pause right here to say this. All of that sound good. I want y'all to appreciate what Mr. Z did here. I'm patting myself on the back for this. I played all those videos in the beginning for this right here. Appreciate how conflicted all of those women I played, how they sound. Their appeal, as I was stressing and emphasizing, was not to the men, but to the women. Because the women are supposed to, when they're being polled, no pun, when they're being asked man on the street interviews, when they're being questioned, to show solidarity with other women, to align with female empowerment, to hold the line, they're supposed to put everything above men and children. This is the feminist credo. You're supposed to put your friendships, you're supposed to put your career, you're supposed to put your academic accomplishments, you're supposed to put your autonomy and your freedom and your liberation from men and gender roles. You're supposed to put all of that, caring for the environment, caring for the animals, caring for other women, the sisterhood, everything is supposed to go above men and children. And what you saw from all the videos Mr. Z played in the beginning of the stream are women who said, I can't do it anymore. It's costing me my sanity. It's costing me companionship. It's costing me money. It's costing me physical interaction, giggity. Huh? It's costing me physical interaction with men, giggity. So what Bourbon Bougie is doing here, and what whoever does these man on the street interviews or conversations, or whoever's polling these women, it's real slick what y'all doing. Because what you're saying is, after decades of indoctrination, after years of indoctrination, you go up to some college campus or some university campus and you compile a bunch of data where women and young women are saying, yeah, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about that. You go to some high school and poll the girls, what matters to you more? And all the girls say, my career, after y'all done had their brains, their minds, for 16 and 17 years. If they're in college, after y'all done had access to their brains and their minds for 20 and 22 and 23 years, then you ask some 23-year-old what matters most, and they're telling you, oh, my career, and being self-sufficient and traveling. And then Mr. Z plays all the clips of essentially women 25 and older who's telling you, yeah, about that. See, what had happened was, huh? Yeah. And what I played mainly, because I didn't play Claudia Jordan earlier, were women somewhere 40s and younger. If I would have played Claudia Jordan, it would have tipped over 50. But what Mr. Z played were pretty much women under the age of 50. all telling you, complaining to you about being single and lonely and horny and bored. They're telling you they did the empowerment brunches. They do the girlfriend thing. They go out with their girlfriends. They love themselves. All the things y'all tell them to cope with not being with the man. All the coping mechanisms. They're telling you they tapped out. Bourbon bougie. The young ladies are telling you they're tapped out. They can't do the coping mechanisms anymore. The going out with your girlfriends for mimosas, the brunch and munch. Ooh, huh? The empowerment brunch, the leaning on your girlfriend in the community. Continuing.
To not want to be concerned with men these days. Let's read through some of the comments that she posted. So Stoic Suspicious says, we need Sharia. Speed Ski says, look at how sturdy and awesome men are in this graph. Unwavering as always. Nice job. The Accomplished says, maybe it's because instead of the six-pack abs, super rich, fit, tall, and handsome trope, they added a new dating filter. You have to be politically aligned on all fronts. Laughing my butt off. Learned that by reading the comments. Okay, cool. So, great, you learned something. The Gruen trend.
You notice she didn't deny it. So the women are looking for perfection. The men are looking for companions. Ooh. The women are looking at a man as a status symbol. Okay. And the men are looking for companions. And the men are not being encouraged to stay their ass single, pouting, angry at the world. The men don't have to convince other men to leave them alone when they end up in a relationship and they're happy. The men don't have to convince other men, look, I can't do this anymore. I can't. Isn't that what the girls say? I can't. Continuing.
The Gruen transfer says, sure, they invented this nonsense term called emotional labor and think they're the only person in the relationship doing that work. They are, but no one's asking you to do that on anyone's behalf. Just be chill and you'll have less self-inflicted emotional labor to accomplish. We just invented this randomly.
Bourbon bougie, but y'all did. But y'all did. Bourbon bougie, all the metrics say the men are still doing the majority of the work in this society. The men are the ones that are constructing the bridges and maintaining them. That's the men. The majority of your police officers, your military, that's the men. That's the men. Maintaining the physical infrastructure of this society, that's the men. Your oil rigs, that's the men. Majority of your truck drivers, that's the men. That's the men. Huh? So yes, it is a term that just was made up, particularly concerning the black community. I wish a black woman would say black men are not practicing emotional labor. Huh? Now, if you mean kissing your ass, then yeah, y'all can make that complaint. Black men are not kissing her ass, so they're not engaging in emotional labor, not at our level, because black women are kissing black men's ass, right? Okay, yeah, that's it. Anyway, yeah, remember, black women and women don't mean emotional labor. They mean placating the ass, being the emotional sponge for them. And it's not supposed to be bi-directional. It's not. There's not supposed to be any reciprocity. You're supposed to soak up all their emotional baggage and then shut up about it. Be stoic about it. No reciprocity. You go take your emotional crap and go dump it on your friends or on some therapist's lap. But you're the selfish one, black men. You're the one who lacks emotional intelligence, and you're the one who doesn't do any emotional labor. Weirdos. Like to direct y'all to the title once again. Continuing.
To depopulate Western world is succeeding at the moment. So this is all just woke propaganda. Kerr says, hate to say it, but women are a lot more likely to get brainwashed by propaganda. Doesn't matter the political spectrum, LOL. Minimum Area says, no, just listen for once. It's just true. You can look it up and fact check. Women have always been easier to lie to and manipulate on a mass scale throughout all of history. Women are the targets of mass state propaganda in the West, from being pro uncontrolled mass immigration to being convinced they don't want a family. Men never fell for any of that, generally speaking. Round Personality says, yeah, because nowadays it's easier to throw someone in the trash than to try to solve a problem. But women are telling you what the problem is, and they refuse to listen. Like, they literally just don't want to hear what women are saying. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, listen to what Starlight Surfing says. That's because men, despite also being subjected to the hyper-individualistic and materialist fantasies, don't find as much gratification in pure material pursuit and feel more...
And the problem with what he's saying is... Continuing.
And feel more satisfied when they're building or supporting something, i.e. a family, even if they aren't great at it. Women are satisfied with the purely materialistic pursuit as the cosmopolitan woman. They don't listen to women. Many of them don't.
Madam, you don't have a response to that now, do you? That's why you said that. You don't actually have a response because he's right. He's right. Men are not obsessed. You're average, man. Don't tell me about some dude with a $50 million yacht. Cut it out. Your average man is okay without the hyper materialistic pursuits. He's right. And you know it. That's why you chuckled and said, oh, well, y'all don't listen to us. Bourbon Bougie, Mr. Z done heard you before. You know he's right. That's why you don't have a response. In other words, it's the women that are causing this. It's the women. Mr. Z could end the stream right there. It's the women. Thank you. You conceded it. You don't have a response to that. If you did, you would have said it. Yes, women's hypermaterialism. Yes, women just want to be cosmo. Y'all don't watch too much Sex in the City, even for those of you too young and you never watched it. He's right, and you know it. That's why you don't have a response. You chuckled and said, y'all ain't listening to us. Once again, hold the line, girls, hold the line. Continuing.
Kanye says, when young women decide to stop finding toxic masculine traits attractive, this will revert. Dizzy says, overwork yourself, get money to buy things, and have no one to share them with. The recipe for the successful life, apparently. A whole generation set up to wake up in their 40s to the idea of having kids and realize they can't make them anymore, and it's already observable. So they will never get to the root causes of this because they refuse to listen, but I just wanted to share some of these comments with y'all.
I think all of these women leaving men in droves and being completely done with them is going to be the catalyst for change, not only in America, but around the world. Because women are essentially pacifiers for poor men. Because the only thing standing between men doing something about the way our current society is run and holding our government responsible for the fact that a lot of them are poor and struggling is the ego boost they get from oppressing women. In other words, our government is taking advantage of the fact that men are mainly driven by their ego and in constant pursuit of anything that will give them an ego boost. And that's exactly why I say that misandry doesn't even hurt men's feelings, because in order for a woman to hurt a man's feelings, he would have to respect her and see her as a person. It bruises their ego. Misandry and the 4B movement bruises their ego, and that is why they have an issue with it. And that's why I am just so proud of this generation of women for standing up for themselves and being independent, because I don't think you guys even realize that being single and child-free is almost a form of protest at this point. And I really...
This deserves an Oscar. Mr. Z has been saying all of this. She told you everything. The issue is that you're not rich. The elites are... If we starve out your average man, these poor dudes will upturn this, because the only reason poor dudes were getting any vagina is because it's an ego boost to them. Huh? Listen to her. As more and more women take their vagina off the table, is going to force poor men to turn this over. The women are doing their thing, they're independent. These are her sentiments, right? Meanwhile, we know they're not, especially for black women. Single and childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America. We know this. Huh? Ah. Huh? You gotta love it. She's saying everything here. Now, she's wrong. The women aren't doing well financially, particularly black women. I don't know so much about white women, but Latina women and black women aren't doing so well financially. So that's factually inaccurate. Once again, excuse me, outliers doing too much talking. Outliers doing too much talking. Where are all these financially kick-ass black and Latina women? Where are they? But appreciate the sentiment that she's sharing here. Holding society hostage. Women taking their vagina off the table. It's not that the elites are using women as a buffer class. It's that the elites ego stroke men with access to women. And now that women are making themselves scarce, then it's going to force average men to step up, is essentially what she's saying. Because the elites are scared of a bunch of regular, smegular, middle America white women. A bunch of loud, sassy, ain't gonna do nothing ass black women. A bunch of wannabe white women, Latina women, Asian women, black women, everybody outside of the top 20% white women. That includes other white women, by the way. Yeah, because the elites are real afraid of y'all. Yeah, that's it. A bunch of women that are more concerned about going to the mall and shopping than anything going on in society. Yeah, because they're afraid of y'all. Because y'all are really challenging them. Yeah, that's it. With your pink hats. Okay, yeah, that's it. Continuing.
Free is almost a form of protest at this point.
Oh, yeah, that part. Being child free is almost a form of protest at this point. Meanwhile, elite women, white women in particular, are still having children. Wait a minute. So the women that are with elite white men are still having 2 and 3 plus children. So, in other words, the men that are most responsible for America's current state are still having women marry them and have more than one child for them. Meanwhile, your average man who's not responsible for your current political, social, and economic environment, they're the ones who have to suffer because the women of their socioeconomic background said, we're not having your children. Yeah, about that. So it's a form of protest to not have the children of everyday men, and that's supposed to hurt elite men? How? So elite white men are being hurt because everyday Latina, black, and working class white women are not having children? Huh? So everyday salt of the earth, working class white men, black men, Latino men, Asian men, they're the ones who have to deal with the fallout of women's temper tantrum towards elite men for not choosing them. Z, she didn't say all of that, but that's what it comes out to effectively. She said form of protest. Not having children is a form of protest, but the elites are still having children, 2 and 3 plus children. Not just one. We're not talking about your actresses here. We're talking about the Jeff Bezos of the world. No, we're not talking about Leonardo DiCaprio. We're talking about Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and Elon. How many children does Elon have? Huh? Yeah, based camp. Yeah, Malcolm and Simone. Exactly. Exactly, Hardbuck. Exactly. It's a form of protest. Shout out to black women. What's black women birth rate above the 50% income line? It's like 1.3 and some change or something stupid. Continuing.
Child free is almost a form of protest at this point. And I really hope y'all realize the positive effect you're having on this world simply by being you.
Men seem to want to be as unlike.
The positive that you're contributing to this world by simply being you. Once again, you're all that you need to be, girl. The men need to self-improve. The women don't need to self-improve nothing. They're all they need to be. Oh boy, you gotta love it. Oh, you gotta love it. Now, what Bourbon Bougie is about to say is men seem to be obsessed with being unlikable or something like that. Something like that. Let's see if it rewinds a little bit and plays it for us. Give us a second.
Right here, Ryan, and he's wearing this shirt. It says, be very, very quiet. I'm offending liberals. His hat says ultra MAGA. But let's look at what this is saying. It's like they want to repel women. I don't know. It's weird. But Ryan says, so I wasn't going to do the politics.
The most chronically single group of people in America, black women, saying, Bourbon Bougie, you're a black woman, saying that the men seem to want to repel women. The most chronically single group of people in America talking about repelling anyone. Marriage rate going to the crapper. Interracial marriage rate practically non-existent. The most LGBTQ bisexual group of people in America. Huh? Huh. You want to talk about repel? Repel? Black women are the most single-ass group of people in America. The most same-sex loving group of people in America. Have the least amount of wealth in America. A disproportionate number of them are kinless as they age. Like, what better example of being a repellent can you get here? As black women age, they're kinless. Kinless. That means siblings, children, husband, And you want to talk about repel? Whew. Outliers doing too much talking, y'all. They're just talking to be talking. They're just talking to troll you and to be a little antagonistic. Well, trolls. Continuing.
I don't know. It's weird. But Ryan says, so I wasn't going to do the politics thing on here, but I keep seeing all these petty women on here. He's calling people petty. He has a hat on that says ultra MAGA and a shirt that says I'm offending liberals. But he says, I keep seeing all these petty women on here that say no Trumpers. And here I thought they were.
Bourbon Bougie, you weren't being petty this whole entire damn stream? Your whole video, you're not being petty? Continuing.
Force. Have 3 jobs and not interested in liberal women. Can't stand the constant pissing and moaning and parroting of anything the left-wing media makes up that week. Big into sports, food, animals, movies /TV, and wrestling, to name a few. He has 3 jobs. He's not yet divorced, so he's still married. You can see this is probably a woman's bathroom right here. But he's petty. And what women want this person? Just coming out, just being petty for no particular reason. Anyways, this is how many of them come across. Listen to Ian's comment. He says, that's the problem with libtards is they're so worried about political correctness all the time. Obviously, he is not concerned with grammar at all, but okay, he's worried about liberals, all right, and political correctness. Women just want to keep their rights and all that stuff, and then we got these people that act like this. Okay, bet. Then they are aggressive and mean and antagonistic in their dating profiles. We don't see a picture, but this is Casey, who's 52. He says hi.
He's right about that.
But this is his dating Bio, listen to this. Very persistent. I'm not big on texting. If I ask for your number, you ask for mine, I will give it to you. You call me, but I will not be texting you to have a full-fledged conversation. If you want a text buddy, just block me. I'm a 70s baby. We have a conversation. Do anybody talk on the damn phone anymore or read?
What does this have to do with the article? Well, not article. What does this have to do with Professor Galloway? I guess this is supporting information. Are you trying to pull a Z and like, oh look, we'll link this to this and this? No, ma'am. Stop it. Continue.
Talk on the damn phone anymore or read? Listen, if I ask you for your number and you say give me yours, I'm gonna block your MFN behind. Why are you so antagonistic? This is his bio. Like, why are you so aggressive and mean in your bio and you're actually cussing? No, I didn't say the cuss words. So remember, he said hi to this woman, right? She didn't respond fast enough. You see, he's talking to himself. Now, the reason why it reverts to this, I think 1969 is the year he was born. He's been blocked or she blocked him or whatever. So that's the reason for that date. But this is what he says. May I have your number? She didn't respond. Then he says, B word, please. It's too many women out here to be pressed about you or any other B word. Look at me and look at you. It's a privilege. It's a privilege for you to even have a conversation with me. It amazes me how you can fix your mouth to even say some ish like that. Furthermore, do yourself a favor and go jump off a building. You will be one less B word, quote unquote, stalk. What? And then he did a bunch of laughing, and then it says amazing. And then he says, FYI, you don't look safe at all. He says he doesn't look safe, but he encouraged her to go jump off a building.
These weird extreme cases to prove a point. Mr. Z doesn't have to scour the internet to find the videos of women dry begging or car confessionals and crying because of being single and lonely. Y'all be trying to find like, and some of us, y'all might have girlfriends or wives or a mom that does this, especially now with YouTube and the internet, where they like, all they do is listen to like these murder mystery stories and whatever man was stalking whatever woman and, you know, these type of stories. And that's all they listen to and watch. Like this is that. Like using the most extreme stories of some man, some social media profile and him being what? Mean, weird, to prove a point. Continuing.
People are angry and they're lonely. They really are lonely. They are not doing that well. But this type of stuff, these types of behaviors, that's the reason why women are just like, I don't want any part of this. I came across this Threads post a couple of days ago and didn't get a chance to get to it. But Lyndon says, women replacing relationships with sisterhood gotta be the weirdest dating trend being normalized right now. So because men are not being centered, they're not women's everything. They're seeing that women are able to create community. They're like, something's going on. Women have been telling them this.
Women are not creating community. Women are not creating community with other women. They're miserable, single, lonely, and horny.
Personally, I am done with all women-centered events in 2025. The women empowerment brunches, lunches, the ladies' nights, I'm just gonna take a pause. Like, I need heard enough. I have my sisterhood. Of course, I'm open to making new friends, but there's other ways to do that and to spend my money. Like, where's the...
Huh? All that decenter men talk. It's a snore fest. Yawn. Boring. The ladies are pretending like they got it together. They're miserable. They're lonely. They're horny. It's cold outside. They're freezing. The elements done got them. Huh? All that empowerment talk, whatever, bourbon bougie. Yawn.
And it's like buses. They really thought that women were replaceable. You know, they're going to keep on coming. And so Pink Lotus Flower says, what does sisterhood have to do with the dating? A logical leader strikes again. Soon he'll mansplain what he means. My homie Miss Mesa King says he's big hurt. I click into his post. I see Natural Mystic, that's a woman, and he's pinned her comment saying, this is why when women say they don't want low maintenance friends, I walk in the other direction, because a lot of them are looking to friendships to replace the missing man in their lives and want you to emotionally and sometimes financially support them the way a man should. I just know that level of commitment isn't for me, but kudos to them doing what they need to build community and find peace. I just don't have the capacity for tantrums because he didn't text you back on time. So that's what she is thinking, that women are creating community because they're missing out on men, whereas.
But they are, and Mr. Z just played a bunch of videos that say that. They are. They're admitting it. Bourbon Bougie, are you okay? Are you okay? Women are admitting. Mr. Z played the videos just for that. So you telling me that the women that are saying it didn't mean it? They don't know what they're talking about? They're telling women like you to stop telling them to lean on community instead of having a man. Everybody knows the message, ma'am. Some of you are playing like you believe it, some of you are not, but everybody hears the message. Continuing.
Because they're missing out on men, whereas why can't people be both? But these dudes just get so upset when they are not the everything. And so in these imbalanced relationships, these men do try to isolate you from your friends. And right now, women are saying, no, we're going to keep our community, and I'm here for it, but the dudes are not. Just a couple of comments on this. Stephanie says, excuse me, but I clearly remember bros before hoes being part of every guy's personality for years. And to that, Kiana says, exactly. It's cool when they do it.
That spiteful language again. Told y'all. Continuing.
Miss Ray D says, or hear me out. Maybe they're just not censoring their life around a man or men. And then we got Fahim at the bottom said, nah, they're definitely replacing it with sisterhood. I know, because I'm the friend they like to pull back in whenever they're over men. So it works for me because I'm a loner, so I like periods of breaks, but they're definitely doing it. So because one woman is validating that the sisterhood comes back when they're out of a relationship, there you go. It's completely valid now.
Nice try at minimizing. So in other words, women are saying this. What she said is a woman is saying, yeah, whenever these other women are out of a relationship, then they want to lean back into sisterhood. I'm the friend that they lean back on when they're out of relationship. And so with Bourbon Bougie said, okay, so y'all got one. So this completely dismantles what we're saying. Nice try. Nice try. Suffer in silence for my gender war. I hear you, Bourbon Bougie. I hear you. Huh? Suffer in silence for my gender war. To all you young ladies, if you ever come across this, that I played y'all videos, appreciate that the Burbs and Bougie are telling you to suffer in silence for her gender war. And no matter what you say, that's why Mr. Z played all them damn videos in the beginning. No matter what y'all say, Bourbon Bougie says, suffer in silence for her gender war, and it doesn't matter because all Mr. Z has is one example, even though I have dozens. All Mr. Z has is one example of a woman saying, a black woman on top of that saying, look, I can't do it no more. Look, I can't lean on the network anymore. I can't do the empowerment brunches anymore. I want a man. Shout out to the ladies. Huh? All you ladies who say I can't do it anymore, apparently you're only one. Continuing.
This is not a trend. It's not a weird thing, but these dudes are going to have to realize that women are becoming more balanced. They are not just catering to them, but they're going to have to get over it.
Women are becoming more balanced.
I feel like we don't talk about this enough, but the hardest part of being single is not having somebody to. Oh my God. Oh God. I'm mocked. Hey, oh God. Like, I didn't sign up for this celibacy life. It chose me. Oh God. This cannot be my life. This cannot be my life. This is the hardest part about being single because the don't really be hitting like it's supposed to be hitting after a while, bitch. Oh God. Hey, Lord, send me my man. Oh, this cannot be my life. Fuck you thought this was.
Yeah, balanced. Meanwhile, homegirl is so horny, it looked like she is having a goddamn exorcism talking about how the Rose toy ain't doing the job anymore and how she need that itch scratched. but balanced, right? Yeah, balanced. Yeah. Homegirl was about to fall and kill herself on a goddamn step stool, but balanced.
Being a strong, independent woman is fun until I can't reach the cups. Hey, come get me.
Yeah, the loneliness is making her chuckle at the end of that video. She probably turned that off and cried herself to sleep, but balanced. Yeah, the women are balanced. Right? Ugh. Balanced. Meanwhile, they out here sassy begging and aggressive begging because the struggle is real and they look real frustrated, but balanced.
Niggas be so quick to let me take you on a trip. Let me take you on a trip. Pay a fucking bill. Pay a bill. Pay a goddamn bill.
Always begging. Damn.
Can we get on the phone? No, get on the phone with billing. Don't talk to me. Talk to billing.
Balanced. Yeah, Mr. Z got a zillion of these videos, yo. Balanced. Anyway, continuing.
Just catering to them, but they're going to have to get over it. All right, y'all, let me know what you think about this.
All right, everyone, we finally reached the end. Damn, Z, almost 3 hours. Okay, we can finally read some of them super chats. Jesus. I know y'all like, goddamn, Z, it's been 2 hours since you never got to it. We're working on it. We're working on it. Here we go. And St. Cyr says, and like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. St. Cyr says, I've dated or romantically giggity been involved with a black woman, yet I've never wished death on any of them, unlike Swirler. Wait, he said, I said I've. Sorry, I missed that word. I've never dated or romantically giggity been involved with a black woman, yet I've never wished death on any of them, unlike swirlers and divestors do on black men. Interesting. Yeah, because you don't have contempt for black women. See, it's not a one-to-one. What the FDs of the world would like to make it seem like the black manosphere is one-to-one to the divestors or something. What they might concede is like, okay, the divestors, yeah, they might be louder and more like of this, neo-Nazi type talk, but there's more of black men who are entertaining black minister rhetoric, whatever they have to tell themselves to go to sleep at night. Saint Cyr, you don't have contempt for black women. Not only that, you're not angry at black women for not making you a white man. You're not telling black women, how dare you end up with a non-black man instead of making me a white man. How dare you try to escape Blackistan, the communita, as people like to say. I don't like these terms. How dare you try to escape the communita in Blackistan and end up with a non-black man instead of elevating me to a white man? You're not thinking like that. That is how black women are thinking and moving. And when you let them talk long enough, they'll say it. When you bring them to the deep end of the pool in conversation, they'll say it. The clip I played on the radio station, Ricky Smiley, when the lady called and said, "Nah, I don't agree with passport bros. Stop running. Black men are always running from black women. You gotta love it." Black men are not saying that. Saint Cyr, you've been here for a while. You're not saying that. Huh? And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. KMS says, I'm coldly realizing that most black women are silent because they are hospice Harriets. Hysterical. I need the hopium. I need it. It can't be my fault. It just can't be. Yeah, no. Look. First, I think your average black woman is just living her life. She's not so worried about these things. Yeah, they're punching her in the gut, punching her in the face, actually. But she's just living her life and going with the flow. But she's single as hell, horny as hell, and probably broke as hell, based off the numbers. they're not going to accept that much of what they're living or existing in, better yet, is due to the negligence of their foremothers, of white racist society, both on the left and the right, and their own advocacy. Appreciate the internet and social media is affecting how black men and boys, move. Because our sons see how black women and girls speak to them, treat them, and see them. Black women are their own worst PR. Huh? So the hopium, yeah, it's real. The copium, yeah, it's real. Huh? He says hospice Harriets. Well, there is an article that speaks to that. There is an article that speaks to that. A disproportionate number of black women are kinless as they age. Advocates say they deserve a social safety net too. Hospice Harriets indeed. Thank you for the super chat, KMS. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Y'all give Z a second. We gotta go all the way up. So I think that first one was from KMS also. Okay. Actually, no, it's from Ben. And Ben says, check your email link. I put it in the chat. Hilarious. Okay, I'll check. I'll check my email. I'll check my email. And thank you for the super chat, Ben. Thank you for the super chat. What's going on, Doc? Dr. Dunbar was in here. I don't know if he still is. And Big Mo says, the nerve of that black woman to comment on black men's diets when the discrepancy, better yet, between an increase in BMI is only statistically significant with black people, with black women's higher. Yeah. Look, like I said earlier, when the outliers doing too much talking, when they're not cognizant or aware, or better yet, they're just so hard up on putting black men in their place and bringing black men back down that they forget how obese black women are. In aggregate, how overweight black women tend to be. And how much of the stereotype, the negative stereotype of black women are these overweight, loud, brash people that historically black men have tended to still end up with, but increasingly not, but non-black men have wanted nothing to do with. So for Bourbon Bougie to mention black men's diet, hot wings and Hennessy, as she said, it just tells you, like, these people are weirdos. Once again, to my title, weirdo women who hide behind female advocacy. They're weirdos. Regardless if they're married or not, more often than not, they're not. They're not even coupled. They don't even have a boyfriend. More often than not, they're just weirdos. So yeah, Big Mo, you're right. Well, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see who's next. And okay, KMS. And KMS says, well, damn, according to AI definition of Asperger's, damn near all these chicks are on the spectrum. Social cues and empathy challenges in relationship. Exactly. That's why I kept on emphasizing it. Or they're just a-holes. No, they're a-holes. They're a-holes. It's both. It's definitely both. It's definitely both. And they're encouraged to be a-holes by the dominant society and by other black women. They're encouraged to be that. As I said earlier, you'll be surprised how many white women get off on black women's attitude towards America and towards men. They love that. They diddled themselves to that. They love seeing black women move like that. They won't do it, and definitely not to that degree. They love seeing black women and hearing black women talk about being strong and independent and how much they don't need a man. They love it. How many white women are going to live that? How many white women are going to try to imitate that? That's a whole different conversation. But they love it. Huh? So yeah, that Asperger's and being on the spectrum, look how many people I've covered over the past few years, how many women I've covered. And some iteration of mid ain't ish eventually and inevitably will be bought up. And then the demeanor and the attitude is similar to this. You notice Mr. Z doesn't necessarily cover so many women that are crass, like the loud and obnoxious and extremely hood. You notice Mr. Z don't really cover them too much. I think we overemphasize those women. They're a problem, but they're not the problem. The Bergen Bougies are more like it. Huh? The Shaynas, the Kim Fosters, the Teresas, the lady I covered yesterday. Huh? There's a number of these weirdo women. They be chronically single, borderline politically lesbian, waiting on the nearest white dude with some stature and some money and some status, and all that feminist crap gonna go out the window in practice. They'll be talking that crap, but they won't be living it. Huh? Because if you are in the spectrum, you know one thing you still recognize when power and money and whiteness walk in the room. Huh? You get your mind right when that power, money, and whiteness walk in the room. Yeah. You could be on the spectrum all you want. You know when that walk in the room. And thank you for the super chat, KMS. And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Man, I'm tired of these Freddy Krueger Elementary School, how I'm gonna say this. These women will just say, and Negrosy, yeah, I get it. I get it. I cover women like this. I emphasize this for us, those of us that are single, and definitely for the young brothers, right? For the young men. I also play this to emphasize this. I also play this so that black men can more easily decipher this type of talk and not take it too seriously, right? Very important to not take this too seriously. My goal with this is so that we can limit the Sarge Willie Pete's of the world. And appreciate, this is not Mr. Z jabbing Sarge Willie Pete. It took a while for Sarge Willie Pete to get where he is now, right? In other words, Sarge Willie Pete, he entertained what the ladies were saying for a decade plus. Still to this day, you can see he's conflicted. Sarge Willie Pete really doesn't want to come to terms with the women want patriarchy by feminist specifications, black women in specific. They want you to work your ass off to get the Ferrari and hand them the keys. Then they want you to sit your happy ass in the passenger seat and smile like a little yitch. Huh? Not you get the Ferrari and they set passenger princess. No. There's a reason why I spam the button, protect, provide, and shut up. There's a reason why I spam the button. What about if black women are supposed to lead and black men are supposed to use their listening ears, their muscles, and carry out instructions? There's a reason why I play those videos over and over and over again to emphasize that. And you never know what new listener we have. You never know if somebody heard me on the Roger Report or on BGS or right, saw me in the comments, in Ed's comments, or wherever, and they check out my channel, and the first thing they get hit with is Munchkin when she says bow down, right? This is not for y'all to hate black women. Mr. Z does not hate black women. Mr. Z doesn't actually want black women to hurt. I know they're going to, in aggregate, of course, not all. This is not about hating black women. This is not even about black men in particular putting, air quotes, putting black women in their place. This is to say that there will be a behavioral adjustment, that this society will divvy out. And black men, you need to be prepared to watch as black women get dealt with in that way. I get you being tired, Detroit, but I play these videos and I emphasize this message, especially for today, because we appreciate that there are black men who are single mama raised or who grew up in the burbs like Sarge Willie Pete, who might have been raised in the church, and they really think and feel that the reason why, and that's if they acknowledge that black women are misbehaving, but what they will concede is the reason why black women are misbehaving is because something is wrong and defective with black men. Black women are misbehaving. Black women are speaking like this as a response to something black men are or are not doing correctly. They don't appreciate that, no, black women have gotten drunk off of this proxy power that they have in the black community, and they want to keep it that way while attempting to shame black men into staying and providing at the highest level. Bring your resources to them so that they can be the best queen of the ashes humanly possible. So Detroit, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. I get you being tired. I get you being tired. Right. KMS continues and he says, thank you for the super chat. Z, so you telling me other women have been hijacked by chicks with social Tourette's? I don't know how to act. We all must suffer, typical. And all the more the reason women must fight back. So I've said it. It's time for a civil war. And you see some percolation of that with certain women here and there, the Shay Sades and whatnot. But yeah, no, there needs to be a civil war, right? And I don't know if we all must suffer. Some of those women are willing to go down with the ship, right? Some women are willing to go down with the ship of resentment and anger towards black men in specific. Some black women are willing to go down with it, right? Some of these content creators and whatnot. I would argue the majority of them, though, are going to turn around and leave the masses of black women out there in the lurch. That's my argument. My argument is that they're going to leave the masses of black women out there in the lurch. They're not going to fall off the edge of the cliff or sink underneath the waves with the masses of black women that they themselves encourage with this foolishness. If y'all are correct that Bourbon Bougie is married, that would be an example right there. We saw it with Paris Milan. We're seeing it literally with Miss Foster right now. Yes, she spoke the same way when she was single, but now she's in a relationship. You would think she would talk any different? Nope. Meanwhile, we know how chronically single black women are and how that's causing them stability, wealth, all of it. So KMS, once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And a split Jim says, and thank you for the super chat. Them in their community have tried to use in-group tactics for superiority by trying to make black men a permanent social underclass. Yes, but they learned that from the dominant society. That is why Mr. Z says using intersectionality to benign neglect the plights of black boys and black men. I want you to appreciate whether FD says it or not, he agrees with me. Ooh. Whether Foreign Man says it or not, he agrees with me. Ooh. Foreign, I got it saved. That conversation you had on waving the red flag, you know better. Once he said what he said, I was like, oh, so you do know better. Oh, you know what this is? Y'all just have decided y'all not gonna wag your finger at black women. No one is. Okay. Huh? Everybody who's anybody that's a man appreciate what Kimberly Crenshaw did with that intersectionality. Huh? Foreign gets it. FD gets it. They get it. I would argue even Kim Foster gets it. Don't ever expect her to admit it. Don't ever expect her to say it, or definitely not say it. And there's no way in the world she gonna admit what that means for black men. She will never do it. But you think she don't get it? Oh, she get it. Her admitting it, and then her admitting what that means for black men, and then in turn for black women. Oh no, she ain't never gonna do that. You think Julesy don't get it? Julesy gets it. They learned this from the dominant society. Huh? You use intersectionality to siphon off the money and the prestige to black women, the educational opportunities to black women, which leaves black women controlling the helm. And that's the goal. Unfortunately for them, just enough black men are leaking out where that's going to be less and less effective year by year. Year by year. And I caught Dr. T and Jeff St. James conversation last night. Year by year, and Dr. T said it, Mr. Z said it, BGS said it. Year by year, you're going to see more and more black men marrying and dating out, having more mixed children. Black women will not be able to keep up, y'all. We all know it. Huh? We did the social math. This is why Mr. Z says the acolyte. Huh? The Roma and Gypsy class of America. Black women are not going to change their behavior. So black men are going to find other places, other people, other women who appreciate them. All this one-liner, go where you're appreciated and not tolerated, or better yet, go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. Mr. Z don't even like that term, celebrated. Just for existing, cut it out. Go where you're appreciated and not tolerated. Celebrated, sounds too womanly for me. Go where you're celebrated. When did white people celebrate black people, black women in particular? Maybe black athletes and black entertainers, maybe a black academic here and there. So yeah, split gym. Black women learned this from dominant society, and that's what intersectionality is. It's a way to benign neglect the plights of black boys and black men, and then it leaves them in the permanent underclass position within the black community, where they must go to black women for their resources. This is where BGS walk in the room and tell you about the black men who move from house to house of black women that they're piping. That's the goal. KW Don says, I cracked 405 on the bench. I frequent the gym regularly. I don't see black women in there like that, but everyone knows that. And Mr. Z hasn't been in the gym in years. In years. We all know. You could walk out your door and see black women ain't going to the gym in no significant number. For Bourbon Bougie to make that comment is just the height of insanity and being myopic. and alternative facts. Shout out to Kelly and Conway. We already know black women are the most obese group in America, most overweight and most obese group in America. And so for Bourbon Bougie to say that, hot wings and Hennessy, wow. Forget it just being insulting. It's like inaccurate. Thank you for the super chat, KW Don. You're 100% right. TJ Honda says, yes, you need money, but being the at brothers, are last employed, first fired, nothingness, stopping her from going to other ethnicities. Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Look, Mr. Z will always stress on his channel the anti-blackness of society. I will not be another black person who speaks as if because black men have an issue with black women having an issue with being black, so black women take it off on black men. All of a sudden, everyone's so open to black men and black women now. This is weirdo talk. I agree with you, TJ, that all of a sudden, more often than not, even not card-carrying swirlers and divestors, so women who are not card-carrying swirlers and divestors, when you get into the talk of relationship, eventually someone in the room, some black woman, is going to imply, suggest, or just outright say that black women can always just date out and imply, if not outright say, marry out. And we just know that's not a thing. Black women, an attractive black woman is an attractive woman. That does not stop the racial hierarchy from being what it is. That doesn't mean that you won't find here and there a black woman married to a non-black man. But it's not a thing. It doesn't really register. So black women going to other ethnicities and groups, TJ, we all know that's not a thing. It's just some weird coping talking point that black women use to spite black men to say we're not limited to you. So I agree. If brothers are the least employed, last hired, first fired, I get what you're saying. Then why aren't black women ending up with non-black men? Because they don't got nowhere else to go. They don't have anywhere else to go. It's black men or nothing.
Black women do not be having the options that they say they got. And before you jump in my comments, no, I don't have a man. No, I don't have options. Okay, so I beat you to it. There you go. I already beat you to it. So if that's all you care about, you can go and scroll past this video. Anyway, black women do not be having the options that they say they got, because my whole thing is, if you say you have an option, that means you like that option. That means you are considering that option. So women be talking about, we got options. Oh, a man is the easiest thing to get. But the man y'all be talking about, you don't even want the man. Y'all.
Don't you do it! Don't you! I got nowhere else to go! I got nowhere else to go!
Vito's back with another one. Let me know if you agree or disagree.
So I had put up a post the other day pretty much saying that the reason why black men are choosing to date outside of their race is because of black women's entitlements and attitudes towards black men. And all I saw was a whole bunch of negative comments from black women bashing black men yet again, talking about how they ain't ish and all this other negativity. But again, let's go back to the stats. I love stats, right? Because black men are more likely to be able to marry and date outside of their race than black women. Black women are the least likely for another race to want to come and marry them. So my thing is, I need black women to wake up and realize, if the black man doesn't choose us, who's going to be choosing us? Because it's a very slim chance that another race will choose us.
And there you go. TJ Hunter, there you go. She's one of the few that actually will say that and admit that. This is why you're seeing black women try to convince other black women to be okay being single, being lonely. Huh? Be okay with it. Lean on your network, lean on your community of other women. And we won't judge you if every once in a while you do a little co-munching. Because we're not going to get on the black man's program. Increasingly, young millennial and Gen Z black men said, all right, if you're not on my program, I'm gone to a woman that is. So if more black men are dating out and we're not going to budge as black women, and not enough non-black men are here to make up for the difference, then black women are going to have to get real comfortable with being in community with other black women that are single, a bunch of single ass black women. Huh? Single ass black women and LGBTQ black men and a handful of placating ass straight black men. Huh? Yeah. So yeah, TJ, thank you for the super chat. And on that note, everyone, I think we gonna end it on that. We done passed the 3-hour 15 mark. We done been here way too long, everyone. Way too long. So on that note, everyone, Z got things to do. This was a reckless stream. Z got things to do. Don't put it in the comments. Don't put it in the comments. So we'll you know, this was pretty good. Bourbon Bougie. If y'all are right and she's married, oh, this is some traitorous travesty stuff. Right? I love saying, how does this benefit black women? But for real though, how does it? So anyway, on that note, y'all, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.
You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.